California. It's the final match of Western Division action here in minor league cricket as the 4-5 San Ramon Grizzlies look to protect this house against the 2-7 San Diego Surf Riders. Both teams coming in looking to salvage something from a disappointing weekend in which one team had harbored dreams of a playoff push against their NorCal rivals, while the other had ambitions of at least spoiling the seasons of the now Morrisville-bound East Bay Blazers and Silicon Valley Strikers. For them both, one more afternoon in the Davis sun and a chance to finish 2025 on a high. Joe Hickey with you here from Arroyo Park alongside Vishal Tiku at the controls and Stanley on the camera work. A short while ago, I joined the captains and the umpire in the center for the toss. Let's have a look at what the coin and the young skippers had to tell us. Welcome to the middle here at Arroyo Park. We've got the assembled important people here present. Sunil Singh, our third umpire, Sundaram Subramanian, Suyok Patil will be the men on the field. And we've got the captains, Rahul Jariwala for the San Ramon Grizzlies, Skandar Rohit Sharma for the San Diego Surf Riders for today's game. One of you's got a coin ready to toss, I believe. Oh.
So you are going to flip the coin and you are making this is your head? Yeah?
It'll be Skandar Rohit Sharma for San Diego to flip the coin. Call is heads from Rahul Jariwala.
It's tail. We're going to have it back first. Okay, best of luck.
All right, the call is tails, and we'll take a moment here with Skandar Rohit Sharma and have a quick chat. Skanda, the coin has been unkind to you all this season so far. I think that's only the third win. You've batted every time. What did you see here in the surface and the conditions that leads you to believe that's the approach today?
Yeah, so yesterday we bowled second and then batting first, putting up a big score. It's always hard to come back and chase that big score, so we're looking to put up a big total and hopefully defend it.
Okay, any changes to your squad today?
Yeah, we have two changes. We do have one change. Apologies. We have Supranj going out and Abhi Singh coming in.
Okay, any particular reason going for the leggy versus the pacer in this contest?
So we're picking an extra batter, Abhi Singh, and hoping to put up a big total on the board today.
All right, thank you very much, Skanda.
Thank you.
If I could take a moment here and chat with Rahul Jariwala for the San Ramon Grizzlies. What would you have done in this situation?
We would have had a bowl first. I think yesterday we batted first and the wicket was a bit spongy in the morning and seemed to get a bit better. So that would have been why we made that decision, but happy that it worked out this way.
Okay, yeah, both captains walking away happy. What kind of total would you feel comfortable trying to chase down later on here on this wicket?
I think with our bowling attack, we can restrict them to something around 120 and 140, anywhere in between there, and I'm pretty confident our batting will finish that job.
Okay, any changes in your squad today?
Yeah, we have a couple. So Taj is out for Kranti, Akash is out for Vedant, and Tahir is out for Adnesh.
Okay, any particular reason for that squad rotation?
No, just want to give our boys a good chance to prove themselves to people that haven't played as much throughout the season. Hopefully they can come out here and put their best performance forward.
All right, thanks so much, Rahul. Looking forward to a good contest.
Thank you.
That's the news here from the middle at Arroyo Park. San Diego have won the toss, and they will bat first. And you heard the men there. 4 total changes in the 11s, 3 for the men in red, and 1 for the Sun and Sea. We'll take a look briefly at the squad lists for the San Diego and San Ramon sides here in just a moment. There is San Diego. The one change, as you heard from Skandar Rohit Sharma, Supranj Kumar, the righty pacer, out for Abhinder Singh, who will provide an extra bat on a day when they are looking to build a total and give themselves something to defend on a wicket that was tough on everybody yesterday that wasn't named Shahan Jayasuriya and Raymond Reefer. Everybody else going at about 6 to 7 runs a ball. Those two may as well have been on a different planet. But maybe a return to sanity here and a tight encounter and an exciting battle between bat and ball. Otherwise, it's as you were. Shahan Fernando, Snell Patel have been the stars by and large recently. Rahim Mangal with a really nice cameo late in the piece, even as San Diego's chances of chasing down that total were a little bit already out the window. When you do look at that bowling attack there, they also will add Singh's leg spin to the attack, although at the expense of one other pacer. It is going to be an attack by and large defined by spin today. Javed Zadran and Abhinay Divanipalli, the 2 righty pacers. Everybody else in there, a lot of options with off spin, with lefty spin from Kunj Bhagat, and with the leggy Abhayender. For San Ramon, as you heard from Rahul Jariwala, a little bit more in the way of change. It's going to be Adnesh Tondale in for Tajwali if you're looking at the sort of swap of young righty pace for the veteran left-hander. Kranti Kumar gets in, and as does Vedant Jain, a little bit of experience in place of the youngsters Akash Sundaresan and the first-year player here in minor league, although plenty of experience in Afghanistan, Mohammad Tahir Adil. Kranti looking to potentially replace the bats of Akash and Tahir as he makes his season debut today, with the addition of Vedant Jain, a second leggy into the side alongside Zia Shahzad, who remains in the 11. Harish Kakani has had a solid week with bat and, of course, has also picked up a milestone, taking his 50th wicket earlier. He will be a big part of that attack with ball in hand later on. He and Tondale, the two righty pacers, of course. Ayan Desai has been taking wickets like tic-tacs in the power play and has been very useful. And you've got your spin options in Shahzad, Vaghela, and Jain. Aryan Sidhu, the one change from yesterday, does stay in the 11 for today. San Diego on the season 1-2 when batting first, but they did defend the smallest of those totals, oddly enough. That coming back here in Arroyo Park when they put up a total of 133 against Seattle and won that game by 4. They've had just one other win this season, and it came chasing on the very final ball against the LA Lashings. But they have put up two bigger totals the other times they've batted first, but haven't been able to make them stick. One of those came in the first game down at Canyonside against LA, 165. That was chased down with 2 balls left and 3 wickets in hand. The 157 that they posted against East Bay earlier this weekend, not nearly so challenging to the men in yellow. They chased that down for the loss of just a single wicket and with 19 balls left in the kitty. As for San Ramon, they are 2-1 on the season when chasing. They got 108 in 11 overs and 113 in 11.3, both of those 9-wicket victories. They did lose by 20 to Seattle the day that they were bowled out for 106. So that is where things stand here. It's going to be the first ball handed here. It appears to Zia Shahzad. No, never mind. Sorry, he was in that area. There's the run-up. Ayan Desai. I'm much less surprised now. And he will have a slip in place to the right of the captain and wicketkeeper Rahul Jariwala. He'll be facing off with the opening partnership. Shahan Fernando is at the non-striker's end and still waiting on a proper view. Oh, excuse me. Yes, there we go. It is going to be Siddharth Menon, just as was the case yesterday, opening the batting against the young pacer Ayan Desai. Desai, 22-year-old lefty from San Bernardino. His 4th MILC team here, and he has looked to have the same sort of impact with San Ramon that he had for 2 seasons with LA. He's got a season under his belt as well with San Diego and has played, in fact, for all 3 of the Southern California sides. And you might be saying to yourself, if you're newer to minor league cricket, wait, 3? I thought there were just 2. Well, he was part of the inaugural Hollywood Master Blasters side as well before that team vanished from this plane of existence. And so in his 4th minor league setup, his 5th season in the league, getting ready to steam in 3 wickets already on the weekend, all of them inside the power play. First delivery to Siddharth Menon is going to have a bit of shape in the air, but a bit too much as it goes wide of the leg side. First over from the Sahadeo Pavilion end, named after this ground's founder, Don Sahadeo, current groundskeeper, keeping it in the family, Ryan Sahadeo, skinny to his friends. San Diego underway with the wide. Desai loves to play with his length in the span of an over. Shortens that one up and gets it to rise up on Menon. An early opportunity to get the measure of what this pitch is going to do. You heard Rahul Jariwala in the open talk about it being a little spongy yesterday, and that part of the reason that they would have been happy not to bat first. That looks like it's springing off the deck a little bit more readily. Left arm over the wicket to Menon. fiddling at that one. It is inside the tram line, and another dot delivery here as Desai looks to apply a bit of pressure early. All-time series between these two. Grizzlies with the advantage 7-2. Last 2 seasons, they have split their pair of games. Those are the 2 San Diego wins, 1 in 23, 1 in 24. First match this season between those two. One of the typically close games that San Ramon were playing in that opening weekend. That's a flicked edge, and it's just through the hands of Aaron Johnson at slip. First runs off the bat for San Diego as Manon scampers to the other end. Bona fide chance there, as I believe that one burst through the hands of the big Jamaican. This will be a great view here of that flick. Got the left hand to it, unable to quite move the whole body behind. A sharp chance, but one that I think Aaron would tell you he feels he should have held. First delivery here to Shahan Fernando. That's going to be run back towards fine leg. Scooped up by Vedant Jain over there. And another single that'll bring Menon back on strike. Siddharth yesterday, 13 off 12, including a maximum. His first as a minor league cricketer, although he's got plenty of them in the San Diego Cricket Association. 381 runs this year at a 143 strike rate there. High of 104 and 3 other 50s. Good length from Desai, fought off to the offside, and another single. Early on here, San Diego seemed to be willing runners. No surprise that with Fernando at the crease. Though he tends to be a little less of a willing runner against pacers than he is against spin. But overall, a non-boundary strike rate in the high 60s. Not getting stuck too much on the crease. He'll work that one around the corner. He is going to stay back, though, and this time it's the gunned throw from Aryan Sidhu, who returns to the 11 today after debuting for San Ramon last time. He keeps Manon back at that end. That's who will be on strike for over number 2. 1 in the book so far here from Davis. San Diego 4 for no loss.
From USA to India, experience journeys like never before. Book your tickets today with Fantastic Fare, your ticket to cricket and beyond. Book today and celebrate with Fantastic Fare.
A studied first over, both batters on the board with runs off the bat. One bona fide chance in the field. Otherwise, teams feeling each other and this pitch out in the final match of Western Division action here in 2025 minor league cricket. So happy to have you here for this presentation of Crick Live Productions on the MLC Network. It's going to be Adnesh Tondale back into the 11 and opening the bowling at the Usman Khan end. First delivery out of the reach of Siddharth Menon, and that'll be a wide. Tondale starting this the same way that Desai started his first. Tondale, another 23-year-old. He's low 20-year-old, or early 20s, I should say, bowlers. A big feature of minor league cricket. Get in on the ground floor, folks. Swing and a miss as Tondale goes for the Yorker length on that one and sneaks it under Menon's bat. Like Desai, Tondale, another one who's facing his exes today. Former San Diego surf rider. Made the trip to San Ramon a year ahead of Ion. That one's popped up in the air, but it will find happy grass as third man was pushed back to the rope. Single for Manon. Not in control of that shot as it popped up on him. Not a bad looking delivery there from Tondale. A good, tough length. Comes up off nearly the splice of the bat. Perhaps the shoulder takes that edge. And at that point, you see the ball zing off of there, and you just say to yourself, please get to the ground. It's a different meaning than we usually have for touch grass. That one worked off the pads towards square leg. And Fernando will pick up a single as well. Two right-handed bats at the crease. Not much in the way of movement in the field. The standard two deep men at third and at square leg. Here inside the power play for Rahul Jariwala's side. Tondale so far trying to stay a little unpredictable with the length. We've seen him go very full. We've seen him hit a good length. Went back full again. Back to that good length. Definitely hit pad. More than likely well down the leg side. So far a very similar over to that bowled by Ion Desai. A couple singles and a wide at the start. Oh yeah, no concerns at all about LBW. For all the screaming we've heard the last couple of days. Raymond Reefer had my ears ringing a couple of times. This time around, we stay sane. We know there's no chance there. Another good length ball. This one, though, dealt with very well and trying to pick that gap. Good long run from the deep man at square leg all the way around to keep that away from the boundary. It'll be a pair. But 2 runs saved by the nice run in the deep. I believe that's Zia Shahzad. It often is. With Zia on the, oh, never mind. Zia's in front of me. We'll have to figure out who that was that made that play. Another one off the pad, but going well down the leg side. They take the run, signaled leg buys. And that'll be the last of that over. So 5 off of Tondale, a wide, 2 singles and a double. Leg bye to finish. San Diego 10 for no loss. Desai continues from this end, and his first delivery is going to be looped into the hands of the deep man at square leg. And a wicket falls on the first ball of Desai's second. And the power play wickets just keep coming for the young man from San Bernardino. That will end the stay at the crease of Siddharth Menon. He departs with 5 off the 10 he faced. Dotted up quite a bit by both of these power play bowlers. We'll get a look here as Desai pulls his length back. Menon trying to use the feet to access perhaps the offside. Had to change his mind at the last minute. That's never good news when getting ready to throw a shot. Nice, confident work in the deep. Believe Aryan Sidhu perhaps will get an official reading on who made that catch. It is instead Ruvi Gunasekara. For Desai, his 4th wicket of the weekend. He has struck in every game. He's removed some pretty good names so far. First delivery to the new bat, which is Vijayaram Nandula in at 3. Off the pad. Leg by on the follow-up. As ever, the voice of Rahul Jariwala echoing around here, and used to do so rather frequently even when he was a Silicon Valley striker, and now for sure here on his home ground. Place where he, as skipper, has won more than any prior Grizzlies skipper. Fernando will guide that through a gap on the offside, long run. It is chased down and flipped. Nice bit of teamwork out there in the deep. So number 3, Kranti Kumar. Doing good work there at full stretch. Flipping it to Vagela to get it back in. That one gets through Fernando and gets off the wicket. Didn't get a good look at that at first. Looked like it might be a whole bunch of byes, but it kisses leg stump, and Shehan Fernando is going to have another short stay at the crease here in Davis. 4 runs off 4 balls faced, but he has got to go. And we'll see here, the Yorker just barely kissing leg stump. And unlike some of the other instances already this weekend, this time it actually does knock off the bail, and the lights coming from the stumps, not a mirage. I saw the other day that I'm blowing up just a little bit on socials for having gotten very excited about an apparent Ayan Desai hat trick that was not to be. Ball hit a good foot away from the stumps, but it lit up one of them. And we all know I wanted that at that moment, so trying to be a little more circumspect about it. This time we depend on the celebration of Rahul Jariwala, and that leaves absolutely no doubt. Snell Patel in at 4. Desai with 2 in the over. One of them, the big fish that has been such a bright light this season for Fernando. Or for San Diego, I mean to say. Shehan Fernando being that. 41 off 33 for him. Would have thought at the time that he was going to have no trouble coasting to 300 runs, as that put him at 298 on the Friday game down in Morgan Hill, but just 4 runs in his last 2 matches. Snell Patel rolls that one wide of the stumps, a throw down toward Jariwala. Needs a moment to find it, but that'll be a dot to start against Snell. Patel having a little more fun this weekend, came in with 206 runs and has added 94 to that total to put himself at 300 exactly on the season. 67 on Friday off 49, including 9 fours, 27 yesterday off 23. He leads minor league cricket in 4s. Couple of dots, though, to start as Ayan Desai continues. Another masterful spell inside the power play. Yesterday, it was a wicket taken with just 10 runs on the board in his 3 overs. So far, just 6 against him, and he's got 2 down. Both of the wickets that have fallen for San Diego, as he claims Menon and Shehan Fernando in the 3rd. 13 for 2. No change at the Usman Khan end either, as Adnesh Tandale will stay on. Tondale in that first over doing good work varying his length this way and that, bringing in the occasional snowshoe crusher or sand shoe crusher, whatever it is that you're in, whatever kind of shoes you wear. I think I'm just thinking cool thoughts here under 80 degrees in Davis, California. This one tapped to the man at mid-off. It'll be a chance to try and throw down the stumps for Vedant Jain, but looks like even a direct hit would not have had them in too much trouble. Nandula gets off the mark. Snell Patel will try to do so as well. For Ayan Desai, his 11th wicket of this season. He's actually taken wickets in all but one game of the year, but this is only the third time that he's had more than one in a game. He's yet to have one of those big, nasty Ayan Desai games. Just by and large has been a metronome. You can pretty much set your watch by him having an economy a little under 6. And at least one, maybe 2 wickets. A wide delivery here from Tondale. In the early going, San Diego going at 4.5 runs and over. That would get them to a total of 90. Rahul Jadiwala, I'm sure, would be delighted by that. He told us at the toss, somewhere in that 120 to 140 region, they feel like they've got the resources to do something with that. San Diego want to post a total. They've added an extra batter in the form of Abhi Singh. That one down the leg side and another wide ball. This occasionally an issue for Adnesh Tondale. Last season, 7.01 the economy. Had it down to 493 in the power play, but then it started ballooning in the middle, and a big part of that was that almost a seventh of his runs in the middle came from extras. Had the 10th most wides in all of minor league last season. Hasn't gotten as much run so far in 2025. That one's in the air for a moment, but we'll get to Aaron Johnson on a hop. So far, just 5 of the runs against Tondale have been off the bat. Otherwise, 3 wides and 2 leg bys. This, the first game in which Tondale has bowled more than 1 over. Gave up 12 in an over against East Bay back over Labor Day weekend, and then 4 in an over against LA. Has not appeared since until today. Swing and a miss. Brief thoughts as Harish Kakani went up in a half appeal, thinking maybe an edge off the bat of Snell Patel, who remains stuck on his crease. On the season, right-handed pace, the only thing that Snell has struggled to keep his strike rate up against. He's around the 140 region, plus or minus 10 against pretty much everything else. Lefty pace, off spin, leg spin, lefty spin. Righties, though, 104 coming into the weekend. You can see here, unable to pick the length as he shortens things up. Oh, it's a wide. Apparently on height. Gets over the head of Snell Patel, and Tondale apparently dissatisfied with that. Let's see what we think here. Certainly a bit shorter. Ooh, that is really tough. I know they do the thing now in the IPL where they can check wides. Do they also have umpires call on that? I think this one would have been if it had been referred. and over almost exclusively of wides and dots, just one run off the bat to open Nandula's account. Can certainly tolerate the extras if they're not scoring any other way. See the Saurashtra lion on the helmet of Snell Patel, a 10-year veteran of that setup in first class. Comes in a little short. That is hooked and going to wind up in the hands of the fielder at point. A third wicket down here inside the power play. And Tondale, for all of the erraticness of his line at times and all the frustration of the wide on height moments ago, gets his reward for all those dots and dismisses Patel for a duck. 17 for 3. Another shortish ball. Rises up to shoulder height and just not able to get on top of it and keep it on the ground. With that, 4 overs gone, Vatsal Vagela pouches the catch. Tondale has his first wicket of 20-25, and San Diego are 17 for 3. The captain, Skandarohit Sharma, in at 5. He is at the non-striker's end, and it will be Vijayaram Nandula on strike to face the third over on the trot of Ayan Desai. That one's in the air, but picks out the gap where the deep fielder is. Tondale in a few steps from the boundary at long off. It'll be a single to start. Every Desai delivery an event right now here. 2 wickets in that last over in the span of 4 balls. Apologies for the error on the scorecard. That is most assuredly Skandarohit Sharma. I don't just know that because his name's on the shirt. He's also a good 6 inches shorter than Abhi Singh, so that is for sure the captain. There we go. Card is figuring some things out here. At any rate, he will face his first now against Desai. Needs a moment, though, to adjust the gloves, and we'll give you a sense of what is going on here as decision weekend here in minor league cricket has, well, it's made some decisions. We came in on Thursday with the first game, New Jersey Stallions taking on the Titans. First delivery to Skanda, worked off the pads and on its way to the mid-wicket boundary. Well struck, beautifully timed. Skanda, who's had a hard time starting so far this season, 39 strike rate inside the first 5 balls of an innings. That'll do some triage to a number like that. First time we've really seen Desai wander down onto the pads like that. First boundary of the innings here for San Diego. Skanda, the one who said he's looking to build a total. That one's an under edge that could have gone anywhere. He'll thank his lucky stars. And he wants that second. Vijayaram was a little slow on the response, and they're going to stay put. Skanda was pretty adamant about wanting that second run, but Nandula had come to a full stop and could not get back into gear quite in time. That'll bring about a conversation between the new partners. Desai continues to operate with a slip in place. Aaron Johnson. Ion would have 3 wickets if that earlier edge had stuck in the big left paw of Johnson. Nandula gets that one through a gap on the offside. Long run for Vedant Jain, and he is not going to win that race, I don't think. No, maybe. Ball slowed up just enough as it reached the berm. Certainly took some fetching, so that will be 3 runs. You see the cone and the change in the cut of the grass, what represents the boundary out there. It does appear, best we can tell from this angle, that he gets it done. Saves just a single run, though. 3 off of it. A couple of authoritative strokes, the likes of which we hadn't seen in the first 2 overs against Ion. Goes off pace with the Yorker. Nice comeback there from getting stroked around the ground a few times recently. Starting to tell you earlier, though, that we came into the weekend with 18 of the 26 teams still alive for a playoff berth and nothing yet clinched. We are much closer to our answers now. Skandaro hit over to the offside. That's going to get under Vedant Jain for a single, and they will come back as it rolls away, and there's no one in the deep to help out. Extra run taken off the misfield. 11 off the third Desai over. 1 left here in the power play. San Diego trying to up the tempo here, and it's their captain looking to lead the charge, taking advantage of any mistake that might grace them here in the field. San Diego 28 for 3 through 5.
United Tax, empowering your financial future. Expert financial planning, reliable taxation services, building wealth, minimizing tax, serving families and businesses nationwide. Contact us for further discussions.
Once upon a time, one of the most promising emerging players in minor league cricket, now an absolute fixture, and even at 23 years old, Milpitas-born Vatsal Vagela considered one of the elder statesmen of the San Ramon Grizzlies team. Hasn't quite been up to his usual destructiveness this season, but has been looking to change that over the weekend. 3 wickets coming into the weekend, 3 wickets already in 2 games. Took out Dilpreet Singh Bajwa on Friday in the matchup with Silicon Valley and got Angelo Pereira and Sujith Gowda, so he's been taking quality wickets for his side. A lot of flight on his first delivery. That one slapped straight to the deep man. Change in the field with the lefty spinner in. That'll just be a single. Adnesh Tondale hit a deep long off. They also have a deep mid-wicket in place. Less expectation of an edge trying to fly to the boundary. And so third man inside the circle. The slip remains in place, though. Looking for a little bit of turn away from the 2 right-handed sticks. And he gets that turn right there. It does not pick up the edge of Skanda. But by the grace of a gap between bat and ball go we. That one turns dramatically and in fact is going to get away from even the slip. It is just a bye, as opposed to potentially being a pair of wides, but my goodness. Vagela going extra slow. That could have been a wide. I don't think that Skanda's moved far enough across his stumps to move the tram line. Continuing with the big flighted ball, and this time around overpitched. And it's going to be shot through the diving attempt of the man at extra cover. Second boundary of the encounter. You've got to say with Vatzel here, you're looking for that right length, because certainly if you bowl it shorter, with the revs he's putting on it and the amount of turn on offer, that thing is going to move a mile. That's not the kind of delicate effect that's going to get you an edge and a wicket. But if you overpitch it, then you don't get to take advantage of any of it. That's a little more like it. Gets the edge, but it's going to be wide of the slip, and with third man in the circle, it's a long run for Kumar. He will get there and keep it in. And it will be, I believe, the second 3 we've seen today. So a productive final over here off the 2 young lefties. Vagela coming in here as we took a look at the Kumar save. That's another one that moves a mile off the surface, and due to the shortness, has too much time to move laterally, and that'll be a wide. Sticking with mid-wicket and long off here for the final ball of the power play. That'll pick out Adnesh Tondale a few steps to his left to claim it, and a single off the final delivery of the power play. 10 off Vagela plus the bye. And San Diego Surfriders finish the power play at 39 for 3. Fielding restrictions release. We'll be right back with a much more spaced out field here on the MLC Network. Power play done and dusted, and a nice bit of recovery so far for San Diego. After losing 3 wickets inside the first 4 overs, they don't go any further than that. Obviously 3 in the power play, known as that statistical kiss of death, but simply put, the only thing worse than 3 would be 4. Can't have that. It'll be Harish Kakani, who's been a fixture in the middle overs so far for San Ramon this season. He'll take the ball from the Sahadeo Pavilion end for the first over without the fielding restrictions. 5 now permitted outside the circle. We see them splayed out here for this first over at sweeper cover, long on, long off. Deep mid-wicket and backward square. Pretty standard, fine leg and third inside the circle. And then a pair of offside fielders, one at point and one at mid-off. First delivery run back in the direction of third and point. Tondale and Zia converge, and a dot to start here. So I was starting to tell you about the bit by bit that we have learned the fates of teams this weekend. As I said, started off with none of the berths clinched yet. The only thing we knew for sure was the Chicago Kingsmen would at least be in the Central qualifier. They are now qualified out of the Central. New Jersey Stallions and Somerset Cavaliers in from the East. Blazers and Strikers from the West. Skanda wants that single. Pump fake on the throw towards the stumps from Zia Shahzad. That'll keep the captain right there. This morning we got our first official news about the South Division, which until now had been completely undecided. Baltimore Royals with an 8-wicket victory. They needed not quite half the available balls to knock off the Atlanta Fire after bowling them out in the 80s. Nice comeback from taking their first loss yesterday by 4 wickets with 2 balls remaining. Nice looking line and tempting for Skanda. He takes a walk to just have a brief thought to himself about that one. Great length. That one even gets a little bit of a nip back towards off stump. It's never going to trouble the woodwork, but certainly nearly got a piece of the splice of Skanda's bat. And that's all she wrote for Skanda. Harish Kakani took his 50th yesterday. He's got another one on the board here, and he takes out the San Diego captain, working on a wicket maiden in his introduction to the attack. And just after he had tempted Skanda and very nearly gotten him to nick off behind to Jadiwala, he says, "I'll take care of this myself." Another great ball there. This time around the length a bit fuller, so it stayed down almost the same line as the one that preceded it, and Skanda can't quite get to it. San Diego able to avoid the fourth wicket at the end of the power play, but 4 balls later, and without any further runs on the board, that partnership comes to a close. Now it will indeed be Abhayender Singh out to partner Vijayaram Nandula. With San Diego at 39 for the loss of 4. Skanda has had his struggles this season. One of his better days was in the game against these Grizzlies back over Labor Day, 29 off 37. Today he departs for 8 off 11. Getting the strike rate to a run a ball has been a slog. Far cry from what we saw from the young man last season. And as we know, class is permanent, form is temporary. We expect certainly next year to see a little more of the Skanda we know and love. The 2025 has been a challenge. Abhayender Singh, similar sort of trajectory for him, an incredible 24. And then this year has also been a little underwhelming by his standard, but that is a phenomenal start. No wicket maiden for Harish Kakani here. Steps forward to get to the pitch. Kakani has been banging away at that length, just a little bit full of a length, but not quite a half volley. That step forward gives Singh the ability to hammer that first ball he sees. That one may have been, it's a leg side wide, no touch, and it's going to go all the way for 5 of them. Kakani's been sitting at that 4th, 5th, and occasionally off-stump line. Tries to vary that here. May have even gotten a little bit of purchase to drag it wide of Abhi Singh. Jadiwala not able to get there quite in time. So even with the loss of the wicket, a productive over for the San Diego batters as they get 5 as a gift, and of course Singh dispatches the first 4. So we were telling you about Baltimore clinching this morning with a resounding victory over Atlanta Fire. Both of those teams took their first losses of the season to each other in the last 28 hours. Leaves the Lightning needing to sweep their last 3 to potentially pip Atlanta Fire. As that one is tapped towards the onside. That'll find a nice patch of open grass and allow Abhi to run the single. He'll retain the strike, 5 so far for him off the 2 he's faced. San Diego 49 for 4, going in exactly 7s through 7.
Real estate has been my life for the past 20 years.
Look, anyone can write a contract, but Alka guides you to the right decision.
Alka's enthusiasm and professionalism in the real estate field makes her tops.
Yeah, you know, we've known Alka for almost 20 years. We've done 8 transactions with her. Do we need to say anything more?
81 degrees here in Davis, California, a far cry from the triple-digit heat that we dealt with 3 weeks ago over Labor Day. Positively pleasant. We are expecting temperatures to reach 90 by the middle of the afternoon, but we will be out of here by then. Slightly late start to this one as we got rolling at 11 a.m. But that gave us time to do things like a pitch report, which I hope that went well. That's my first time doing one of those, and hoping to do a little more of it in a couple of weeks in Morrisville, North Carolina at the Super 8s. Zia Shazad into the attack, the leg spinner. First delivery just does stay within the tram lines, a bit wider than he might have intended, and lucky it didn't have too much turn on it. Next delivery is spanked in our direction. That's going to end up in a tree, and I don't know quite where it's going to land. Oh, in a yard. I am in luck. Didn't get any of the equipment because it was hit a good 20 yards past all of us. That was a stroke from Abby Singh. That one a smidge over-pitched by Zia and absolutely hammered, and I'm not sure we've got a way of retrieving that ball at this point. So while we look to solve that problem, and see in the monitor Kranti Kumar coming over to observe that, and mainly getting to observe me cringing and hoping it wasn't about to fall out of a tree straight on top of my head. Yeah, Adnesh Tandale thinks I need to start wearing some protection out here for my own good. I've been saying all week what I need is one of those sun hats for any of these teams. Pretty much everybody's got something stylish going on. I love that aquamarine that we've seen from Siddharth Menon throughout the weekend here in Northern California. And then we can throw a little padding under that. I think it'll stay nice and cushiony, just in case something falls out of a tree and tries to crush me. New ball, I assume, in the hand of Zia Shazad. And that one's headed almost to the same spot. My goodness gracious. And that, I think, just broke a window. Oh, my word. That was clear as day. That hit a house across the way. And that's in somebody's bedroom. Oh, my goodness gracious. It is remarkable on some level that that hadn't happened yet in 5 years of games that we've had here at Arroyo Park. But it doesn't mean you're prepared for it the moment it does, in fact, occur. Drilled to long off. The last one took a bounce in a yard. This one, the big man, Abhi Singh. We're going to take a second and look at the fall of the wickets here. Speaking of things getting broken. Started here with just the breaking of the opening partnership. Ayan Desai onto the first ball of his second over, getting that to ladle out. But he continued his love affair with the stumps 3 balls later. Then it was Adnesh Tandale's turn, getting that one to rise just enough so that the wicketkeeper Snell Patel could not keep the ball down into the hands of Vatsal Vagela, and then we're back to wrecking the furniture. Skandar Rohit Sharma sent packing by Harish Kakani. That's where we stand right now. At the moment, the ball is breaking other things, courtesy of the muscly help of Abhayender Singh. Starting to tell you a bit about his season in 2024. Coming into that year, he had 2 seasons in the Bay Area. Had played for the Grizzlies, so we've talked about the ex-Surf Riders playing for the Grizzlies now. Singh, an ex-Grizzly, playing for the Surf Riders. But he had scored 44 total runs, a high of 17, and a strike rate of 86 in 2021 and 22. Mostly made his bones as a leg spin bowler that took wickets in bunches. Stay tuned for that. But last season, in his first year, after a year away from the league, down in San Diego, 173 runs off 101 balls. and dispatched nearly 1 out of every 4 deliveries he saw to the boundary, 23% of them, averaged a 43, topped out at 53 not out off 29, that against the Grizzlies, also a 24 off 13 not out against East Bay Blazers, his other ex-team. I believe midway through last year I was referring to that as the Abhyander Singh Revenge Tour. And so discussions are carrying on here amongst some of the Grizzlies staff with the, I imagine, slightly angered homeowner. Next delivery from Zia Shahzad, and amidst all the commotion, he has overstepped, and that's going to be a no ball and a free hit. Which, given how this day has begun, you're kind of wishing that that free hit was headed the other way. Zia Shahzad bowling the free hit to Abhyander Singh. That one's airborne, but it does not have the legs. It may, in fact, be caught by Adesh Tondale very nicely, but it is not a wicket down. As on a free hit, you can only be out stumped. Actually, not even stumped, excuse me. You can be out run out. So instead, they go back and forth, and they take a pair. You hear it from Kranti Kumar, I imagine, in our field mics there. Much better line from Shahzad on that one. Pulls the length back just enough to put some doubt in the mind of the big man. Last delivery of a smashing over, quite literally. That is a swing and a miss, and that rocking in the hand of Abhi Singh has done a little damage to him. We'll take stock of the number of pieces everything is in. At the end of this over, 8 down. San Diego now going at 8s through 8, 64 for 4.
From USA to India, experience journeys like never before. Book your tickets today with Fantastic Fare, your ticket to cricket and beyond. Book today and celebrate with Fantastic Fare.
Unless they get very, very inventive, unlikely to see a ball flying quite in the same direction as the last over. Vijayaram Nandula will be on strike against Kakani. First delivery going for that Yorker length, worked away to the mid-wicket vacancy, and they'll take 2 quick ones. Kakani's first started extremely well. 3 dots followed by the wicket of Skandar Rohit Sharma, clean bowled. But after that, a 4 from Abhi Singh. A wide delivery that got through everybody and went to the boundary, and then a single to finish. So 10 off of it. All of that coming in the final 2 balls. Tap to the offside. That'll be a dot delivery. We heard in the hit from the pitch, discussing the toss result and the lineups with Skandar Rohit Sharma and Rahul Jariwala, that the reason for putting Abhi Singh in here was to have an extra bat. Well, so far, I'd say that has come off exactly as intended. A 4 and 2 sixes amidst the first 9 balls he faces, and he's already going at better than 2 runs a ball. Under edge that could have gone anywhere. Vijayaram Nandula says a quick prayer and thanks the heavens that he is still out there. Three fielders inside the circle on the offside, just 1 on the onside, the fine leg fielder Aaron Johnson. So a lot of space to try and take those singles or even doubles in the mid-wicket area. That'll be rolled into roughly that vicinity. Vijayaram was certainly interested as he got over to Harish's end maybe turning tail and trying to take a second. Nothing doing, though. Abby turns him back. Last 2 balls of this Kakani over. Facing down the man that took him for a 4 on the first ball he saw. Of course, a history of breaking windows with big 6s here in the Bay Area. Swing and a miss. Singh trying to give himself a little room to back up. Kakani goes for that 5th stump line, and Abby can't reach it. Of course, who can forget earlier this summer, Kyron Pollard going right back over the bowler's head with a massive 6 that busted a window at Oakland Coliseum. I don't know if they just couldn't get the repairman there in time or they felt like leaving it as a trophy/warning. The rest of that leg in Oakland, you saw the taped up area where that glass had been shattered. Abby Singh drags this one backwards of square. There is a man over there, and it'll just be 1. So a tighter over here from Harish Kakani. Just 4 runs come from it, and the boundary stream starting to slow just a little bit for San Diego after a pyrotechnic pair of overs before that. Surfriders 68 for 4 through 9. So we told you earlier today, the Baltimore Royals making quick work of a target of 82 against the Atlanta Fire to win their 8th of the season against 1 loss and 1 no result, as Vedant Jain will be the 2nd leg spinner in succession to bowl from the Usman Khan end. Elsewhere in the South, the Atlanta Lightning now in must-win territory. Their lone realistic path to claiming a spot in the playoffs over their crosstown rivals, the Atlanta Fire, is going to be to beat Morrisville Raptors today and then sweep a pair of games in Rydell, Georgia at the Padamveers ground on Friday and Saturday against the Atlanta Fire. Anything short of that is going to leave Atlanta Fire with either a better record or the same record and an insanely better net run rate. They are going right now at a net run rate over +3, at least coming into play today. That may have taken a hit after the result against the Royals. We've got some bicyclists in bright clothing in the area of the sight screen, and Abby Singh pulls away there. It'll now be Vedant Jain to bowl the first of the 10th. Flighted ball. Worked to offside, and Adnesh Tundale will come away with it. Lightning against the Raptors right now, 89 for 3, just about 12 overs in, trying to build a total they can defend. Technically speaking, if they do lose that game, they could still get level with the Fire by sweeping next weekend. Nice dot delivery there from Vedant Jain, but I believe it would have to be something on the order of a pair of 90 or 100 run victories over a team that, mind you, was undefeated until just about 35 minutes ago. Vedant flirting with the stumps there, almost too much turn. Tasty delivery there, though. Might well have been the googly on that one. This one tapped just backwards of point, looking for the quick single. The throw is down to Vedant's end. Nandula in safely, 2 off the first 4 from Vedant Jain. Another ex-Surf Rider on the Grizzlies now, also has played with the LA Lashings. Coming into play today, 2 wickets in 8 overs for about 7 runs per. That one's gotten a little bit of pad, but coming up too high. For Vedant, the 7 economy, even that is a little bit unkind to him. His economy would be 5 point. Where is it? That one's in the air, and it's going to be a little long. And speaking of hurting the economy, that one's going to get all the way over. Adian Sidhu tracking, but unable to flag it down and keep it inside the park. So a 6 on the final ball from Abhi Singh, and we'll admire that. I was about to say that his economy would be 5.29 if not for a single 19-run over in the power play. Well, his economy today would be 2 if not for that. Abhi Singh continuing to try to lose cricket balls here at Arroyo Park. Luckily, no residences in that direction at mid-wicket. 76 for 4. We hit the drinks break here at Arroyo Park. A look at our batting card so far halfway through this first innings. It was tough going early on. The Grizzlies yet again striking inside the power play. Ayan Desai, the usual suspect, as he takes out both of the openers. It's Siddharth Menon on the first ball of over number 3, and 3 balls later bowls Shehan Fernando. Both of them gone in single figures, as are Snell Patel, gone for a 6-ball duck. That coming as Adnesh Tondale struck. Managed to get a ball to be ladled into the hands of Vagela at point. And then Harish Kakani into the attack for the middle overs. 3 dots, built some pressure on Skandarohit Sharma, and then showed him the door. Since then, though, Vijaya Ramnandula and Abhiyender Singh beginning to put on a bit of a partnership here. They came in at 39 for 4. Abhiyender did. And we heard from Skanda beforehand that his whole presence today is all about getting that extra bat in the lineup to try to build a total. And so far, mission accomplished. 27 off 14 for him. He currently has 1-4 on the very first ball he saw, and then 3 sixes, 1 on the last ball before drinks, and 2 of them back-to-back off Zia Shazad, 1 that scared me, and the other that frightened a nearby homeowner. And became, at least to my knowledge, the first ball to smash a window here at Davis. Hopefully the last, but who knows. That is definitely in the danger zone. I often refer to it as the Gary Graham zone when I come in here, but today very much the Abhiyender Singh zone. We'll take a look as well at the bowling card for the San Ramon Grizzlies, and a lot to like in there. Just the 2 that have been particularly expensive there in Zia Shazad, victimized by Abhiyender, and Vatsal Vagela giving up 10. But Vagela's got the catch in the field. Tondale 1 for 9 off of his 2. Very economical. Desai was even better than that. 2 for 6 before an 11-run over in his last one in the power play. And Vedant Jain was looking pretty good until Abhi Singh took him deep on the final ball before the drinks break. That is where we stand right now here as we go to the second half of the innings. Partnership presently on 37 as the first ball to Vijaya Ramnandula is stroked to square leg for a single, and it's Adnesh Tondale now bowling from the Sahadeo Pavilion end. A change of ends for him, as he was coming from the Usman Khan or commentary end in his first 2 overs of work. So far quite economical, and in fact most of the runs that he has conceded, not most, but close to a plurality of them, have come by way of wides. 4 of those he's bowled. run off the face of the bat towards wide third man. Dot delivery as that doesn't go quite far enough. So the other playoff spot to be decided is the qualifier that'll be played tomorrow in the Central. That, along with the question of which Atlanta team joins Baltimore. There it is, which Dallas team joins the Chicago Kingsmen. Swung on, bottom-edged on a hop to Jadiwala, and that narrowly misses leg stump. Real heart-in-mouth moment for just a second there. Tandale pulls the length back a little, and oof, I thought it was leg stump it nearly missed. No, it's off stump. That hits fourth. Goodness gracious. Very, very lucky there from Abhinder Singh. And if San Diego's going to build the kind of total that they wanted, they do need him in all likelihood to stick around for a bit. That one pops up, and it's almost a chance for a caught and bowled. And for a very sheepish commentator to feel like he just cursed the men in sun and sea. Tandale's done a good bit of that. He has been very effective with his shorter pitched balls, getting them to rise up, taking full advantage of his considerable height. That one, again, a little out of control. It'll be short enough for Vijayaram Nandula and Abhi Singh to run the single. Keep an eye there on Vijaya as he looked to have that bat twist a little funny in his hand as he grounded it. It didn't look clean. So far not giving any signal of being worse for the wear, but keep an eye on it. Yesterday we saw wickets falling in the first over after drinks with regularity. Won't get one here as Tandale scoops that up, but we will get a lockdown 11th over, just 2 from it. San Diego Surf Riders 78 for 4. And you see there, courtesy of our replay, that slightly awkward arrival at the Usman Khan end for Vijayaram Nandula. So far, no indications that he's in need of any treatment, but you get a sense of why I had a little bit of concern. It's going to be Vedant Jain continuing from the Usman Khan end. He gave up just 2 off the first 5 he bowled before Abhinder Singh took him deep to mid-wicket. Singh looking for more of the same. That one, though, is lucky for him to have been one hop to Kranti Kumar as he hit that directly at the square leg fielder. 3 on the onside in the deep. Square leg, something between mid-wicket and cow corner, and Zia Shahzad just to my right at long on. Also long off and sweeper cover. Big gap over on that side, but Abby's been targeting the onside. Tries to inside out that one and perhaps drive it to where there's some room between long off and sweeper cover. Does not get a piece of it, though. That one from Vedant getting some purchase on the surface and kicking away from the righty. Hurries that one along. It's run to third man. The throw has gotten the stumps, waiting for an indication from square leg umpire, and nothing forthcoming. Great cricket all the way around there. A tough ball to navigate from Vedant Jain. Followed by a rapid decision and some good-looking fielding. Let's see what we think. Well, might need to rock and roll that just a moment here as the ball. Oh, the big problem there is that Jadiwala has broken the stumps with his gloves before the ball gets there. That certainly complicates things, trying to work out whether or not the ball would have arrived in time. Does look like Abbey was in safely, but he might not be safe now. That's in the air. It's a chance for sweeper cover, who had just moved a little bit finer. And in he comes. Catch taken by Vatsal Vagela. And Vedant Jain's got his first wicket of the day, and it's the man who has been terrorizing the Grizzlies and the nearby neighbors, Abhinder Singh. This time a bit better of a length and just enough turn to take a bit of an outer edge and see that bat turn in the hand of Abhinder Singh. May have also taken a little bit off of the delivery and gotten him to throw the shot early. That loops it into the air. Good work by Vagela to make his ground, catches it right under his chin. And that's all for Abhi. One heck of an innings, though, from him. Did more or less exactly what he was brought into this lineup today to do, which was bash the ball around a little bit and give this team a chance to post a total that could be defended. So Abhi Singh, the 29 off 20. 3 sixes, 2 of them into the yards of nearby Davis neighbors. There will be some apologies necessary after that innings. But an impressive one to watch for us cricket aficionados. 80 for 5 now. Partnership broken on 41 runs as the two of them nearly double. Actually, just barely more than double, I should say, the total that they had when they entered the fray. They were at 39 for 4 at that point. They get those 41 runs in 30 deliveries to up the run rate to nearly 7s. It's going to be Abhinay Reddy Vanapalli in at 7. First delivery is a full delivery right towards the feet of Abhinay. 0 net Abhi flux as Abhinder gives way to Abhinay. And he's off the mark immediately with a single off the first he faces. That one's some pronounced turn away from Vijayaram Nandula. His strike rate slips under 100 as he's at 19 off 20. New partnership looking to be built here as we see that final delivery rather, and again the continued availability of some serious turn in this surface at Arroyo Park. That ends the over, just 3 runs from it, and the wicket of Abhinder Singh. San Diego 81 for 5 through 12. So we told you the 2 things still up for grabs right now in the final weekend of minor league cricket are the final spot in the South, which could be the Atlanta Lightning or the Atlanta Fire. Certainly WinViz, if it existed for the playoffs, would have the Atlanta Fire well ahead with that net run rate advantage and the currently 2 extra wins. Atlanta Lightning trying to put a little bit of mess into that. They're at 131 for 3 against the Morrisville Raptors through 15 overs. The other thing to be settled is who's going to face Kings 11 Dallas tomorrow for the last spot in the Central. First delivery from Vatsal Vagela, who also takes a change of ends as Tondale did before him, over to the Sahadeo Pavilion end. Round the wicket and a bunch of turn there. That one might have been on target for the tram lines had it not turned like that. Wide delivery and a free run here for San Diego. That last spot in the Central to face off with Kings 11 is going to be either the Metroplex Tracers or the Dallas Exphoria Giants as that one dances past the bat of Reddy. Metroplex Tracers are chasing. So I guess today they're the Metroplex Chasers. They're at 38 for 2, nearing the end of the power play in pursuit of 139. Chasing both that target and, of course, then a spot at that qualifier Monday night. Dallas Exploria Giants yesterday had a chance to secure it for themselves and played an absolutely insane game of cricket down at Grand Prairie against Kings 11. A little overpitched that one from Vagella, but Abene digs it out. Hits it to the man at long on, and that'll be a single. First runs off the bat in this over. So far, Vagella, besides the one that turned wide of the tram line, tough to figure out. Nandula back on strike. Last night, a game that went to a super over, turned several times inside the final few moments. That one worked just wide of third man. Vedant Jain gets up to run it down. And that'll be a pair as the throw comes back in towards the bowler's end. If you're a fan of exciting, zany, high-stakes cricket, you can do a lot worse than tuning into that and watching the replay on YouTube of, say, the last 5 overs and the super over of that match. If you're not interested in cricket, well, first off, what are you doing here? Swing and takes the edge, and Vijayaram Nandula has fallen. Vagella's got his first of the day. And it comes here at the end of his second over. Was applying pressure throughout. As we said, just the 1 and the 2 barely snuck through Vedant Jain. And that wide. This time around, the turn finally does him some good. Puts that at just the right length, and you can see it just drastically jag away from Nandula. And into the gloves of Rahul Jariwala, who continues to add to his all-time lead in total dismissals here in minor league, where he has dusted the field by about 30%. With that, San Diego 85 for 6. It's going to be 2 rather new batters at the crease for the final 7 overs when we come back. San Diego Surf Riders at the moment on pace for 130, 131, something in that general vicinity. Right in that zone that Rahul Jariwala quoted as being something he feels his team could chase down to try and get a 5th win on the 2025 season. And certainly after last year's 2-6 finish, going 5-5, even if it doesn't come along with a playoff berth, a good step in the right direction under the new ownership group. If they want to restrict it further than that, they could do so by eating into the tail quickly. First delivery there briefly in the air off the bat of Reddy. As Vedant Jain continues from this end, besides the 6 to mid-wicket on the last ball before drinks, he has been extremely stingy. Just 5 now off the other 12 deliveries, all singles. And of course the wicket. New man on strike at the the new man in at the crease at the non-striker's end, I believe is Rahim Mangal, although that hasn't populated yet on the card. Actually, I'm a little less certain of that being Rahim Mangal as a result. Nope, there we go. Okay. Yesterday he had a bright red helmet. Might have a cover over the top of that now, which should tell Emmanuel Benjamin, I don't appreciate that if you've got the guys with no names and numbers on their jerseys. Give me something to identify. Single for Vanapali, and that'll bring Mangal on strike. In particular, give them some fancy headgear when they're in the field, because yesterday there were 3 of them. Got a chuckle out of Shahan Fernando when I noted that and said, well, I love that for me. Nice length there from Vedant Jain, the ball jagging. Tough to navigate for the new man at the crease, Mangal. I would imagine when you come in to the crease to start your innings, one of the last things you want to see is a mystery spinner. Manages to bunt that one to the onside, and that'll be first runs of the day for Rahim Mangal. Mangal with 29 off 23 yesterday, 2 4s and 2 6s before Yusuf Zazai got him. Vanapali going for a delicate reverse scoop. See if that's got the legs. It would have to crawl a hill to become a boundary, and it will stop just before it gets there. Coming back for a third. Look out, Rahul Jadiwala might have him, and the finger is up. Perfect throw, and the last person you want to see if you're a surf rider in that moment getting ready to collect is Rahul Jadiwala, because he very rarely makes mistakes on opportunities like that. I mentioned before his all-time lead in total dismissals. He's also the all-time leader in runouts in minor league cricket. And unless he did one earlier this week that I've forgotten, that is his 17th in a 5-year career. And there's the throw from the boundary, absolutely on point. And Mangal in a lot of trouble right away. Throw does require a little bit of work from Rahul, but guided on, no drama whatsoever about that run out. Mangal dead to rights. And so for the second over in a row, a wicket falling on the final ball, this time around not to the bowler, but to the fielders. San Diego Surf Riders 89 for the loss of 7. Vatsal Vagela continues from the Sahadeo Pavilion end. He'll bowl his his third over of the encounter. From that side, took a wicket on the last ball of his second over, dismissing Vijayaram Nandula caught behind. Rahul Jadiwala has entered the chat well and truly in the last couple of overs, caught behind as well as a run out completed with Aaron Johnson. Reddy follows that one. Scorecard is going to need a moment to catch up as they have got the wrong batter still in at this point. It was indeed Rahim Mangal that was short of his ground on that throw. Kunj Bhagat now on strike. That part's right. In at 9. Follows the turn of that one and slaps it, and may well have himself a boundary. That'll get under the dive of sweeper cover. Aryan Sidhu made the ground but couldn't quite get a hand to it. And for Kunj Bhagat, his third career MILC 4 enters play today with just 14 runs to his name as a minor leaguer. Looking for more this time around. He's gotten one, I think, all the way. There is the signal and his first maximum. That is at least the third bowler this weekend that has hit his first career 6. How about it, Kunj? And a slog sweep at that. Some style points to go along with it. Yesterday we saw Ayan Desai knock a couple out of here. Of course, by now he'll consider himself to be an old boundary hitter and an old veteran at that, so He'll be looking out there at Kunj Bhagat and saying to himself, ah, yes, I remember those days back when I hit my first boundary. It's a proud moment for a cricketer. Brings up the 100 as well in some style. 11 so far off this Vagela over. Full toss as Vagela looks for the comeback. They'll throw it down to Vatsal's end. Furniture's destroyed, but Kunj stays in the game. Heck of a throw. Aaron Johnson looking for a second run out in as many overs. Goodness gracious. Let's see what we got. Definitely in, but nice work by Vagela to collect and sweep it back behind himself onto the stumps. It's the sort of moment where you just say to yourself, man, this is a pretty game sometimes. Abhinder Singh looking to enter the boundary discussion, and he's launched one towards the trees. Up onto the berm. And a second maximum in the over, and a productive one here, as the fall of the 7th wicket does nothing to arrest the momentum. If anything, it seems like it's made the Surf Riders mad. They take a whopping 18 off of that over, and it's the tallest tower on the Manhattan. San Diego Surf Riders 107 for 7. I had hoped to show off the new tallest tower on the Manhattan, but there's some surgery being done on the scorecard as they've finally realized they have the wrong guy still at the crease after that run out. So they're now fixing that up, and, well, at least in text form, we'll get to enjoy those sixes all over again. It is Bhagat on strike to start the next over at what is, in fact, 107 for 7. First delivery, nice bit of turn on offer. As Vedant will bowl the 4th consecutive over from the Usman Khan end. Bhagat looking to repeat the feat from earlier. This time around, the sweep does not find the pitch quite as well, and almost a little danger with as deep as he is in his crease of being the second hit wicket we've seen in the West this season. This time does get to the pitch of it. Rolls it to fine leg fielder Aaron Johnson. Throw down to the bowler's end, but he's in safely. And my apologies, not... no, that was indeed Kunj. I got it right. Kunj with a change of number today as he's wearing number 10 instead of 7. Don't know if that's an old jersey from last year or something like that. That ball stroked to the man in the infield. Eye on Desai quickly down to it. Another dot ball and Jane's economical spell. 2 balls away from coming to its close here. Worked off the pads, and that'll be a single for Reddy. Final ball of the encounter for Vedant Jain. Full delivery, but rolled to Gunasekara inside the circle, and just 2 from his final over of work. If you think 1 for 17 looks good, imagine that without the Abhi Singh 6 that was hit right before the drinks break in Vedant's first over. Otherwise, it's all singles, dots, and a wicket, along with a run out on his watch. San Diego Surfriders 109 for 7.
United Tax, empowering your financial future. Expert financial planning, reliable taxation services, building wealth, minimizing tax, serving families and businesses nationwide. Contact us for further discussions.
Certainly the stage set for a potential thriller here. The first time these two teams met here in Davis, San Ramon was bowled out for 127 and then made that stand up by 7 runs. Harish Kakani in to bowl at the death, as he often does. First delivery is looped by Abhinay Reddy. And on a couple of hops, that will make its way to the boundary back behind fine leg. That's one heck of a hook. One-handed, whirling sort of shot there. That has been the trouble here. Harish Kakani in past years, certainly known for his bowling at the death, particularly his striking. In 23, when he was playing for the Grizzlies, struck once every 12.5 deliveries, took 8 wickets at the death that year, 8 of his 12, but the economy nearly 8. Single along the ground for Abhinay, and that'll bring Kunj on strike. Last season with Dallas Exforia Giants, he was best in the middle overs where he wanted to run a ball. And not nearly as good at the death, went at almost 9s and didn't strike anywhere near as frequently. This year, again, best in the middle, 4.78 the economy in the middle, 11 in the power play and death overs. So we'll see if we get the throwback Harish Kakani here, as that one's worked back behind square for a single, or if his struggles in this late stage continue. Continuing to cast our eyes about minor league cricket, Atlanta Lightning will be protecting a 166 for 4. No, never mind, they're not done yet. My mistake, they're at 166 for 4. 17 overs and 4 balls gone. Dot delivery as that's rolled to Zia Shahzad at point. That a must-win for the Atlanta Lightning to continue to have ambitions of perhaps stealing a playoff spot from their crosstown rivals, the Fire, when they meet on Friday and Saturday at the Putnam Veers Cricket Ground. Over in the Central, Metroplex Tracers 65 for 3 at the halfway point of a chase of 139. That getting rather intriguing. They sit exactly on the DLS par score at the halfway point. A win keeps Metroplex's season alive. This one on the ground from A.B. Reddy. A reminder that if Metroplex do not complete that chase and come away with a victory, then the team whose heart was broken last night in the Super Over, the Dallas Exforia Giants, Harish Kakani's team last season, and a Super 8 club in 2024, would get that backdoor invite to the qualifier tomorrow night to grab that last spot in the Super 8s from the Central. Final ball of the over. Pretty calm one after the 4 on the first ball. Kunj Bhagat picks up another single. And it is an 8-run over here in the 17th. San Diego Surfriders, lots of 7s on the board. 117 for 7. 117 runs on the board, 3 wickets in hand, and 18 balls left to continue to build this total. It's going to be the return of Ayan Desai for his final over of the spell. And he'll be hurling it in from the Usman Khan end. Bowled his first 3 inside the power play from the Sahadeo Pavilion end. A bit expensive in his last over of work, where he gave up a 4, a 3, a 2, and 2 ones, and a dot. Had just about a little of everything. Before that, though, 3 singles and a wide from his first over, the very first over of the match, and then a destructive over in which he took the wickets of Siddharth Menon and Shahan Fernando. That one's airborne. Looks like it may have found the gap and will fall in between Kranti Kumar and Aryan Sidhu, but good work out there in the field, the deep men converging, and it will just be 1. Good look here at that fielding as we wait for Desai to be ready for the next one, and full stretch, both of the deep men on the onside, square leg and mid-wicket. That one's popped up just wide of Desai's follow-through. Dot delivery, though. Left in the shed for the San Diego Surf Riders, the last 2 clubs, as it were, Sabrish Prasad and Javed Zadran. Prasad we have seen do a thing or two with the bat. 5 not out off 6 in yesterday's encounter, and of course the delightful 6 not out off 1 to win the game for San Diego, their second of the season against LA last weekend. Full toss, that one shot back up the middle. Good run, though, from Adnesh Tondale, as this time it's long on and long off converging. Throw will go all the way through to Jadiwala, and again limited to just a single. That time takes a little off. Attempted cut shot and well down the track was Abhinay Reddy. He will backtrack. Bhagat got back first, and Vedant Jain came up gunning to Ayan's end. Reddy with 30 off 21, 2 4s and 2 6s so far. Bhagat 5 off 9. Although I'm not entirely sure they have that correct. There is definitely going to be some surgery that needs to happen on that card. I think the run out earlier really confused folks, because I could have sworn I saw Bhagat hit back-to-back boundaries earlier. I have to go back to my own video. I will admit, from a distance, I have a hard time telling those two apart without the help of the number. But I thought I checked the number. 3 singles, sandwiching a pair of dots in the middle. Last ball of Desai's spell is into the pads, trying for the kick wicket. We already saw one San Diego Surf Rider take a wicket that way by kicking the ball onto the stumps in Morgan Hill. That was Vijayaram Nandula for the only wicket that fell in their loss to East Bay. Desai trying for the same on the last delivery of his spell. He finishes with figures of 1 for 20, and we'll see if he got anywhere near it. Nah, not quite. Didn't get the instep to it. Stepped on it a little bit. Hopefully okay. That'll bring an end to that over. San Diego with 2 overs left, 120 for 7. Harish Kakani will bowl the last of the Sahadeo Pavilion end overs, and his first delivery to Bhagat is rolled along the ground to long on, a single from that first. Kakani so far 23 runs off of his 19 deliveries. Did take the wicket of the captain, Skandar Rohit Sharma, who seemed early on to be in a mood to try and push the pace. in a way that he has had a hard time doing throughout this campaign. Fortunately, ran into Kakani, 3 dots, and then his wicket down. Little use of the feet from Reddy. Steps slightly forward, hits that one to almost the same spot Bhagat did earlier. Same result, another single. As has been the case since that 41-run partnership that stabilized the innings between Abhinder Singh and Vijayaram, San Diego in that 6 to 7 runs per over area. It's what we've seen from most teams. It's what Rahul Jariwala said should be chaseable for his club. Can San Diego push the pace here? They pick up another quick single as Bhagat runs that just to the side of the stumps. We've certainly got 2 guys in the middle that have the ability to go big. Big question is who's going to get that last over. They've bowled out Desai, they've bowled out Jain. This will be the end for Kakani, obviously. They have overs remaining from Adnesh Tundale. They also have, this could be intriguing, 1 left of Vatsal Vagela, although he has been expensive. And they've got all you can eat remaining of Zia Muhammad Shahzad, although he also went for 15 in his 1 over and bowled a no ball. Abhi Singh, that one, or Abhi Reddy rather, into the air, long run, and what a catch from Ayan Desai! His bowling spell might be over, but he's not done influencing this game. Long run to get to that one, and a diving grab. Kakani's got his second. Cannot keep the young man from San Bernardino out of the game. And that's the 8th wicket down here, and Abhinay Reddy, one of the prime suspects for trying to push the pace in over number 19, is going to have to sit down and leave it to the young bowlers. That is absolutely outstanding there, and even manages to concentrate despite the loss of the shades. Feel like continuing the slow motion there. The celebration is almost like watching him run away from an exploding building. So that's all for Reddy. Officially shown right now with 31 off 24. I think that is going to change significantly if they look back at the video and notice the ones that they attributed to him instead of Kunj Bhagat. Sabrish Prasad, the man on strike, in at 10. Rolls that one towards Desai. Single off the first, and that'll bring Bhagat back on strike. $124 runs on the board for the San Diego Surf Riders. Bhagat guides that one to the side of Ruvi Gunasekera. Able to get down and keep it reasonably on the infield, and another single. So against Kakani in his final over, 5 singles to go along with that wicket. He'll finish with figures of 2 for 27. San Diego Surf Riders 125 for 8.
From USA to India, experience journeys like never before. Book your tickets today with Fantastic Fare, your ticket to cricket and beyond. Book today and celebrate with Fantastic Fare.
We were wondering back and forth what the plan might be. It's going to be Adnesh Tundale to bowl the last over of the encounter. He's back at the Usman Khan end where he bowled the first 2 of his overs inside the power play. Those 2 overs culminated with a wicket, the dismissal of Snell Patel on a 6-ball duck after mostly singles, dots, and wides. Swing and a miss. It seems to have gotten pad and actually may have gotten something more sensitive as the man on strike, Kunj Bhagat, needs a moment to collect himself. Oh, I'm a little afraid of what we're going to see here. Oh, dear heavens. Yeah, don't show that again. Now I've got my legs crossed. Oh, dear. Ian Desai from his position at long off, providing the DRS review. This is why you come to the ground. Impact was in line with something, but eep. Tondale on his way in, second ball of the over. Kunj Bhagat looking to dispatch one, but that's going to hang in the air. Kranthi cannot come down with it, though. They'll take a pair. And a dive in at the other end. Well, don't tell anybody that this is a game that doesn't have consequences or meaning to anyone. Kunj Bhagat selling out moments after wearing one in an uncomfortable area. Sprinting back and forth to take the 2 runs and diving in. We are in that zone that Jadiwala identified of 120 to 140. It's 127 now for 8. That one's coming our way. Doesn't look like it's going to hang up enough for Zia Shahzad. Comes up with it. And another single. Definitely an awareness, given the way this wicket has behaved for, as we said, everybody besides Shahan Jayasuriya and Raymond Reefer yesterday. Keenly aware right now that every run at this point counts quite a bit. Grizzlies in the first meeting we mentioned were bowled out for 127 and made it stand up by holding San Diego to 120. That delivery just wide of the tram lines, and that'll be a wide. "17 extras so far today, 13 of those wides, 5 each from Tondale and Kakani. Difference being that in Kakani's case, they came on one ball that got away and went to the boundary. Tondale's had 5 separate ones that have been wide of the mark. 3 balls left, San Diego at 129. That one flared by Sabrish Prasad. That'll be wide of Ruvi inside the circle. Thinking about a second, but the throw comes down to the bowler's end, flicks away, and now they will take that second run, and Sabrish Prasad will stay on strike. Tondale almost flagged that one down and kept it close enough to discourage that. 3 off 2 so far for Sabrish. That one's headed in our direction. It's going to hang up in the air. Zia Shahzad camped under it, and he generally does not drop those. 9th wicket falls here with 1 ball remaining in the innings. And it's 131 for 9. Sabrish Prasad. A brief cameo. He will depart with 3 off 3. Tondale might have taken a little off of that one and gotten the shot to be thrown early. And if you want to study technique for how to get yourself into position and take a catch, you could put that in a coach's manual. 1 ball remaining in the innings, and it's going to be faced by the man in at 11, Javed Zadran. For Tondale, his 2nd wicket of the day and of the season. We'll see if he can make it 3 and have the Grizzlies take the whole complement. That's another airborne one. Coming in is Ian Desai. He will reach for it but cannot haul it in. And they will get back for the 2nd ahead of the arrival of the ball and the dislodging of the stumps. So 2 off the final delivery. And San Diego will finish 133 for the loss of 9. 2 there from that last one for Zadran. Ian Desai nearly with a 2nd catch to go along with his 2 wickets with ball in hand. He, Tondale, and Kakani each claiming 2. We'll take a look here before we check in with the cards. First at the attempted catch, and nice work there by Stanley to follow that all the way down. It was always going to be a tough grab for Desai, but we have seen him take those in the past. But before we bring up the treasure trove of statistics, we will take a look at how we got here in this first innings and examine the replays of the salient moments here. Early on, Ayan Desai starting us off with a wide on the first delivery, but he was economical, just singles from that point for a while, and then nearly had a wicket taken in that first over, bursting through the hands of Aaron Johnson at slip. Tondale would come in and create another dangerous moment for Siddharth Menon, but it popped away. But before too long, wickets began to fall, and it was Ayan Desai who got that parade going. Siddharth Menon picking out Ruvi Gunasekara at mid-wicket. 3 balls later, Shahan Fernando saw his stumps light up as Desai kissed the edge of leg stump with a nasty Yorker. 2 down there, and another one would fall inside the power play as Snell Patel couldn't keep that shot down as Adnesh Tondale had one rise up to shoulder height. Vatsal Vagela securing wicket number 3. But there would be good work to keep themselves from losing any further wickets inside the power play, and Desai's last over went for some runs, 11 off of it, including that 4. Vatsal Vagela would come in and bowl the last of the power play. Another 4 there, as the first of the day's major partnerships began to take shape. They would add 22 runs for wicket number 4, but it fell courtesy of Harish Kakani, as Skandar Rohit Sharma could not partner Vijayaram Nandula any further at that point. Kakani, after that dismissal, would be taken for 4 on the first ball to Abhi Singh, and that was a sign of things to come. There's the 5 wides that we mentioned a few moments ago, as that one went by, and had it taken a touch from the bat, Abhi Singh's total would have been even bigger. Here was the first of the big 6s. This was the one that scared me. Kranti Kumar watching me cringe and wondering if it was going to fall out of the tree onto my head. The next one scared the heck out of somebody that didn't even know there was a game happening, as that one wound up through the window of a house across the way from us at long off. Vedant Jain would enter the attack for the 10th over, but his first over looked like it was going to be very economical until Abhi Singh targeted him to mid-wicket for another maximum. A little lucky on that one, as Abhi Singh, just after the break, nearly saw his wicket fall to Adnesh Tondale. But we would see a wicket fall, and Abhi Singh would have to go on that run out. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a later moment there. He was not run out. At any rate, there it's Vedant Jain eventually taking the wicket of Abhiyender Singh. I'm getting a little bit tied up at this point. Let's just try and read this on sight now. At a 4 just under the reach of Aryan Sidhu. That was with Kunj Bhagat coming in. Just to fill in the gaps there, we did have a crazy run out of Rahim Mangal at one point. Abhi Singh nearly lost his wicket that way, but he eventually went out to Vedant Jain, caught by Vatsal Vagela. That one of the big 6s hit by Kunj Bhagat. Soon thereafter, Abhinay Reddy targeting Harish Kakani. Opening of the face of the bat there. And Kunj Bhagat trying to guide one out for another boundary. Instead, picks out Ayan Desai. Sorry, that one was Reddy, rather. Attempted catch by Kranti Kumar in one of the last overs, and they very nearly had a wicket there. The commitment of Kunj Bhagat as he went diving in. And then this one popped up in the air. Zia Shahzad catching practice to dismiss Sabrish Prasad. And very nearly had one on the final ball, as we saw the attempted catch from Ayan Desai. But they get 2 off that final delivery, and San Diego Surf Riders end up 133 for 9. So to get to 500, We've got a target in that range that was picked out by Rahul Jariwala. He said something in the 120, 130, 140 region he felt his team could attack. Well, 134 is what they need to protect this house here at Arroyo Park and take home a 5th victory in 2025 and a happy ending to a campaign that might have amounted to a little more with some more success earlier in the weekend. We'll be back with that in about 10 minutes here on the MLC Network. Hope to see you then. Welcome back to Arroyo Park here in Davis, California. 134 runs. The target set by the San Diego Surf Riders for the San Ramon Grizzlies. Grizzlies looking to get to 5-5 on the season, a year after they went 2-6. Certainly started the season brightly, 3 wins in that opening weekend. All of them pretty tight affairs, save for the one over the LA Lashings, which they won by 9 wickets with about 9 overs remaining. But as for the others, all tight affairs, a last over loss, a last ball loss, and victories by 7 runs apiece, including the one they took against the Surf Riders in that first matchup. Since then, a split in Seattle, and the 2 losses here this weekend to East Bay and Silicon Valley. Those not particularly close. This one looks like it's going to be a little more like the Labor Day weekend in terms of its finish, as we get excited here for Javed Zadran to open the bowling against the standard opening partnership for the Grizzlies, Aaron Johnson and Rahul Jariwala. As a reminder, the team had a few alterations that we talked about in the Open. None of them at the top of the order, but we will see Kranti Kumar in all likelihood in the 3 or 4 spot. Vedant Jain and Adnesh Tandale likely a bit further down the card. No Akash Sundaresan, no Mohammad Tahir Adil, who had a pretty solid weekend here in the first 2 matches against the Bay Area sides. First ball from Javed Zadran coming from the Sahadeo Pavilion end. Aaron Johnson runs that to the man at mid-on, and that is going to be a dot to start. Zadran took a pair of wickets yesterday, one at the beginning, one at the end. The wicket of Arepali certainly had San Diego's tails up in the power play against Silicon Valley strikers. The wicket of Reefer at the very, very end, window dressing. By that point, the damage had been done, 190-odd on the board. That one's in the air, just over and wide of the fielder at mid-on. That'll be the first boundary of the day off the bat of Aaron Johnson. Get a good look here as that ball a little on the full side. Not quite an authentic half volley, but you don't have to give Aaron Johnson an invitation. He flares that one up the hill. And the day's first 4 for the men in red. Let's see what Zadran has for the comeback. Pulls the length back a little bit, and Johnson opens the face to run it to point. And a single there. That will bring Rahul Jariwala on strike. Rough weekend for the 21-year-old captain. 15 off 9 against Silicon Valley, but caught off the bowling of Kamran Hotak. A little bit of a careless shot, an attempt to ladle a ball over the top of fine leg that instead went right to Shahan Jayasuriya. Then yesterday caught as he tried for a cover drive and instead skewed one to third man off the bowling of Rushil Ugarkar. Here looking for that cover drive. Squares it up, but not enough power or placement. And a dot to start. For Jariwala, a productive first year in charge has marshaled the resources of this team well. As we said, a club that has had to navigate a lot of tight finishes, especially in the very early going. With bat in hand, strike rate in the 130s. I should say 120s rather overall. 134 against pace. And against Pacers, hitting better than 1 out of every 6 balls to the boundary entering the weekend. And did have 2 4s in those 9 balls that he faced against Kamran Hotak. So we get a look at this ball from Javed Zadran. And perhaps an overstep on that one. My apologies. That's what I get. Head in the stats. Javed Zadran, the no ball. This will be a free hit for Rahul. Thank you, Vishal. Goes with the off-pace delivery, and Jariwala waits for it and slams it. Doesn't quite get over on the fly, but it'll be a first boundary for him as well. taking nearly full advantage of the free hit. Zadran deciding to mix up his pace, hoping to get that over-aggression of a guy looking to have one big performance at least over the course of the weekend, thinking maybe I can get him to throw this shot early and I won't get hurt too badly off of it. Rahul adjusts well. Abhi Singh is such a short, fine third man, he'd almost qualify as a third slip right now. Jadiwala in the air, and it's dropped at mid-off. Could have been a happy ending to Javed Zadran's first over. Instead, it goes for 10. And Rahul Jadiwala survives. That one hung in the air for a while. Just a little bit of footwork necessary to get into position. Tough to see exactly what the issue might have been there for Shehan Fernando at mid-off, as he's unsighted with the captain in the way. But either way, Jadiwala still out at the crease. San Ramon 10 for no loss in pursuit of 134. Kunj Bhagat will open the bowling at the Usman Khan end. A little bit of lefty spin against the two right-handed powerful batters. Aaron Johnson, the one on strike. And good news for Kunj, by the way. The aforementioned scorecard surgery has been conducted, and he's now been credited with his 4 and his 6 and 22 off 18 in his batting innings. Let's see how he opens his bowling innings. Bit of a drag down, and that first ball is into the practice nets past mid-wicket. Flat and very short, and before too long, very gone. Aaron Johnson certainly does not need an invitation to punish something like that. Grizzlies haven't chased much this season. This one's rolled to mid-wicket. Of course, that's the idea here. Look for the big shot and then go ahead and rotate strike. Get everybody nice and settled in quickly. Yeah, San Ramon haven't chased much. San Diego haven't batted first much this season, just 3 times each in the first 9 games. San Diego has protected a first innings total once. It happened here against Seattle. San Ramon 2-1 when chasing totals. The only one they didn't get was against Seattle. Dot delivery on the first to Jadiwala. This one rises up. And Rahul is watchful. That one's airborne, and he's picked out a spot where no one is roaming. He gets over on a hop. Boundary for Jadiwala. So far, all 8 of his runs off 7 deliveries have come courtesy of shots to the rope. Again, just missing a little short there from Bhagat. Too easy to put one away like that. Deep protection against Jadiwala is at mid-wicket, and I cannot find the other one. Usually it's third man. Oh, there he is, long off. In fact, that's who he's picked out, and that is right into the hands of A.B. Reddy Vanepalli. We talked earlier about Zia Shahzad's exploits in the field. Don't sleep on this guy either. A.B. Reddy, the human highlight reel, makes a tasty running grab, and that is the end of the day quickly for the captain. And over in chiaroscuro here for Kunj Bhagat, but that one just enough purchase to get out to the end of the bat. And Jadiwala not quite able to muscle this one out. Abene Reddy staring back, making sure he hasn't gone over the berm or over the cones. I think gave me a little gesture as he came by as, you've identified me just in time for folks to know that was a shot that had danger written all over it. Hiding behind the sight screen from our position here in the commentary. That wicket falls on the last ball of the second. San Ramon Grizzlies 21 for 1. In at 3 for the Grizzlies, it'll be the season debut of Kranti Kumar. "29-year-old from Prakasam, India. A career in List A cricket with Andhra. Last season, came over to minor league for the first time. 228 runs at a 112 strike rate. That run total put him in the top 20 in the league. Javed Zadran stays on for the Sahadeo Pavilion end. Kumar not on strike. It's Aaron Johnson. And Aaron Johnson very much on strike. That has been an exhibition all season of ball striking by the 34-year-old Canadian international by way of Jamaica. Little short. And again, that characteristic hop pull on 1 foot from Aaron Johnson to work another one away to the boundary. Johnson with 910 runs in T20 Is for Canada, 147 his strike rate. Here in MILC, entering the weekend, a 148 strike rate. He's been held a little under wraps the last 2 days compared to what we're accustomed to. It's a nice Yorker there, and Johnson manages to work it away. Throw to the stumps. Just does miss. Might have had Kranti in trouble for a platinum duck. Had he gotten the aim right on that, Javed Zadran off his own bowling, trying for the run out. Good pickup, falling to the ground. We'll see. Oh, yeah. May well have had him done. I don't think that the bat was grounded when the ball whipped right through that stump area. So Kumar, very nearly, despite now getting his first innings of the season, very nearly had to leave without getting to face a ball. Instead, this will be his first, facing up with the righty pacer, Javed Zadran. Works that off the pads, straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. That is a tough season in a nutshell. Picks out the deep man the same way as Captain did moments ago, this time around at mid-wicket rather than long off. Tried to step across the stumps, but Javed put it down right at that front foot. Made good contact, just a bit of bad luck as it's just shy of the rope and squeezed. Moments after being spared a platinum duck. For those that are new to the sport or the terminology, that's a 0 score without actually facing a ball. He instead leaves for a golden duck, caught in the deep off the bowling of Javed. That's 2 wickets down, 26 for 2. I would imagine that might be Aryan Sidhu coming out. Haven't seen the number yet. Looks like part of a 3. And indeed, Aryan Sidhu, and we commented on this yesterday, especially with the absence of gold in the San Ramon Grizzlies color scheme now. This just kind of looks like you're at at a Team Canada game right now. Aaron Johnson at one end, Adian Sidhu at the other, in red, white, and black. First delivery to him takes the edge. I thought it took the edge. Into the gloves of Snell Patel. What did it hit? There was absolutely a sound of some sort. Let's see if the replay is going to give us any light on this. Might well have been that it was such a good Yorker it snuck under, and what we heard was the bat hitting the ground. I don't see any other way that Sidhu survives that delivery. For Javed Zadran, after taking 3 wickets Saturday against LA Lashings and the 2 big ones yesterday, now up to 9 on the season and very nearly got into double figures a moment ago. Very careful there, Sidhu, and lets that one go by. Ardian, the Canada under-19 player, 2 off 7 on debut yesterday before being dismissed by Carmine LaRue. Somebody who has put up some totals in under-19 World Cup qualifying against the likes of Argentina and Bermuda. 85 off 58 against the Argentines. Last delivery of this over run on the ground to to the covers. And that'll be 3 dots plus the wicket to end that over. Johnson got it started in style, but Zadran, the one in control of the third. San Ramon, 26 for 2. Kunj Bhagat to continue from the Usman Khan end, and we've got news from other fields. And one of the 2 things that was still in doubt coming into today has now been settled. The Metroplex Tracers, with 9 balls remaining, win by 6 wickets over the Lone Star Athletics. They get there largely on the back of a 78-run partnership between Matthew Trump, who finished with 47, and Shubham Ranjane, who finished with 40. 33 as well, thrown in by the opener Aryan Tumala. As Bhagat gets us started, first delivery in the direction of that house that was targeted earlier. Might be in a yard again. I did not see it land as that goes well over the head of A.B. Reddy. No need for much in the way of footwork when it's overpitched like that one. Aaron Johnson, not Ardian. There are plenty of those in the games I'm talking about away from here at the other end of the crease. Aaron, the one who hits that one. Stand and deliver. Another 6 and another ball in need of fetching. On the bowling side of that game between Lone Star and Metroplex, 2 wickets each taken by Matthew Trump and Arshil Rajendra. And a couple of very economical spells from the likes of Tumala, 11 off of his 2. Rajendra and Trump both went for 27 off their 4 overs and held that target in a chaseable place. And so with that, they eliminate the Dallas Exphoria Giants, who fell in a super over last night and had the chance to eliminate Kings 11 Dallas and advance themselves, fall right through their hands. It will be Kings 11 and Metroplex in the 2v3 game to try to join the Chicago Kingsmen in Morrisville. Of course, also there, New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, New Jersey Stallions, East Bay Blazers, Silicon Valley Strikers, and as of this morning, the Baltimore Royals. The only other thing left to be worked out here in minor league cricket is which Atlanta team is headed to Morrisville and which Dallas team wins tomorrow's qualifier. And we might have to do this all over again. That is nearly a photocopy of the prior one, and it's hit a tree and is again over the top. I hope we brought a lot of extra balls. Another one, very full, almost the same footwork. This is going to confuse me, Vishal, later on when we have to look at the highlights, because I'm going to be like, why are you showing me this one twice? Very nearly the exact same ball hit to the exact same place. San Diego player might actually have eyes on that ball, and it is fetched by the neighbor in that area. But today, living on this side of Arroyo Park is proving to be a little bit of a hazard to your homeowner's insurance. 29 off 9 so far for Aaron Johnson, who, as I mentioned, entered play this weekend as minor league's leading run scorer. He has since been overtaken by Smit Patel and Raunak Sharma, but is looking to see if he can grab hold of that all on his lonesome again. Came into action today, as I do the math in my head, at 347. He's now added nearly 30 to that. That would put him at 376. And of course, at the moment, with 2 sixes already, maybe some other history in the offing. Is he going to go full Yuvraj Singh, full Jaskaran Malhotra, if you like your references American flavored? These 6 sixes in and over, I'm worried about doing a commentator curse on it, but if there's anybody who could sustain it, it's the big man out there in the middle. If he does, I think that on its own would probably give him back the lead in scoring this season. .52 runs on the weekend, as we said, to get to 376. That's already pushed him past Smit Patel. Currently 32 runs shy of Raunak Sharma, so keep an eye on that number if he can pick up yet another 50. Which, by the way, I believe he leads the entire league in those. Him and Steven Taylor. Ah, there goes the 6 sixes. A single there. And of course, we will see Steven Taylor's got 2 more innings potentially in him at the Putnam Veers ground, unless they decide to abandon the second game if the Fire have clearly clinched a playoff berth. He's sitting at 290 right now. But Johnson now at 377. Would need to get to 62 to be all alone on that list. Ardian Sidhu has entered the chat. That was real pretty. I do love a good off drive, but there is just something special about opening the hips and blasting one to mid-wicket. It's probably because I grew up watching baseball. But man, oh man, hold the pose, Ardian Sidhu. First boundary in minor league cricket for the Canadian Under-19 International. Thought about trying to do the same on the follow-up delivery from Kunj Bhagat. Instead, though, it is a dot as it goes by him, but 3 maximums in the over, 2 of them over the fence behind this field, the other one targeting the practice nets, and it's 19 off Bhagat's second. San Ramon 45 for 2 through 4.
United Tax, empowering your financial future. Expert financial planning, reliable taxation services, building wealth, minimizing tax, serving families and businesses nationwide. Contact us for further discussions.
Only one other game of note in progress right now, and that is, again, the Atlanta Lightning and the Morrisville Raptors. Lightning have set Morrisville a target of 196. presently going at a run a ball with 3 wickets down at the end of the power play, 36 for 3. Actually, 3 balls past the end of the power play are the Raptors. If the Lightning can hold on to that match, it'll set up that pair of games Friday, Saturday in Rydal with quite a bit of intrigue. That is a blast straight over the sight screen. Aaron Johnson just keeping on, keeping on. Javed Zadran continuing from that end. And now feeling the wrath of AJ. Johnson had hit 3 sixes already, every one of those off Kunj Bhagat into the area behind me. This time around, bangs one off a tree, which might be the definition of picking on someone your own size for Aaron. Oh, wow! The one-hop pull behind square, that is something else. All right, we're back on Yuvraj Singh watch again. And that is such an incredible shot because it looks like he changes his mind a split second before he throws it about what he's going to do with that one. Wants to come forward, instead backs onto his back foot, gets only on that foot, and swings that pull back behind square leg. That is just something else. And it's not much of a launch angle. He just hits it so hard that it carries over the rope. San Diego making adjustments to the field setting here. We are still in the power play as San Ramon have brought up the 50 with that pair of Aaron Johnson sixes. They put the deep men now at sweeper cover and square leg. Although if he keeps hitting them that hard, it doesn't matter where the fielders are. Oh, speaking of hitting something hard, Javed Zadran has just nailed the stumps. And Aaron Johnson will not lead minor league cricket in scoring this season. That honor instead is going to go to Raunak Sharma, unless he's chased down by Stephen Taylor sometime next week. Takes the top of off, pulling the length back just a little bit after a pair of deliveries had been dispatched. Boom, boom, gone. It is a common refrain. But all the same, take a bow. Aaron Johnson has done his job, and in short order, 42 off 13. Just an astonishing stat line. 5 maximums and 2 fours. Hit just more than half of the balls he faced to the rope. 7 of the 13. And he'll be replaced by Ruvi Gunasekara. Asking rate now all the way down to 5s after that assault in here in the power play. Zadran has got his second of the day and his 10th of the season. Nice improvement on the 6 wickets in 11 overs last year. Last season, his strike rate and his average were nearly top 10 in MILC. He got those 6 wickets in just 11 overs and with an economy better than a run a ball. Big part of why this San Diego team a year ago was contending for a playoff berth right up until the last week. So it'll be Ruvi in at 4. Excuse me, at 5, rather. So far, Jadiwala has gone out in single digits and Kranti Kumar for a golden duck. Johnson certainly got his licks in. First delivery to Gunasekara from Zadran is going to be just wide of the stumps. Gunasekara, Lone Star Athletics player in 23, another one of those ex-Surf Riders. in this Grizzlies setup. Played for them last year. 2 years ago, rather. That one on the ground. Long run at mid-wicket for Sabrish Prasad. He will get there with a nice slide. Brings about the applause of his teammate, Kunj Bhagat. Currently the deep patrol at fine leg or backward square. Interesting field setting for Gunasekara. And a look here at the tidy fielding of Sabrish Prasad. Good work to get into that slide. Get the ball out of your hand as quickly as possible. Ruvi underway. Off the pad, the appeal comes. Zadran wanting a third, but it is not going to be forthcoming. So a heck of a comeback from an over that began with a pair of beautiful sixes from Aaron Johnson. A wicket and just 2 more runs off the 4. I'd have to believe going down leg would be the complaint of our umpire. Too much of an angle, perhaps. And as a result, Gunasekara stays out there on 2 from 3. San Ramon, 1 over left in the power play, 59 for 3. $75 runs required off the last 15 overs. Works out to an asking rate of 5s. It'll be Sabrish Prasad to bowl the last over of the power play. So far it has just been Zadran from the Sahadeo Pavilion end and Bhagat from the Usman Khan end. Lefty spin from this side so far. Now time for some off spin. Prasad will come round the wicket to the righty Aryan Sadhu. Good bit of turn on offer. Certainly saw plenty of that in the first innings. Taken advantage of by the likes of Vedant Jain. Vatsal Vagela. Prasad will look to make use of it himself. Righty-lefty combination, so we're going to see some field switching. First left-hander to come out here, besides Kranti Kumar, who lasted exactly 1 delivery. Ruvi marking out his area, and the deep protection, again going nearly square of the wicket on either side. Sweeper cover and mid-wicket. 4 more in the circle on the offside. Just 2 close-in fielders on the on. Likely expecting that that sort of turn is going to lead to Gunasekara playing it to the offside sooner or later. Sabrish, the 17-year-old offie, transferring in alongside Supranch Kumar from Silicon Valley. Now goes for more of a leg line. Bunted into the ground and a dot delivery here to Gunasekara. Prasad coming into the weekend with a 6.48 economy, but that drops all the way to 4.66 against lefty batters. Tapped to the onside. There will be room to run a single there. And Gunasekara will get himself off strike against the off spinner. Natural predator of the left-handed batter. Went for runs on Friday, 22 from his 2 overs. Yesterday, though, 1 for 23 in his spell and got Dilpreet Singh Bajwa LBW. On a day when wickets were stubbornly not falling. Looking to put a dent in that power play economy right there is Aryan Sadhu. Straight back over his head and down the alley behind the sight screen. Sadhu earlier with his first boundary. decided he enjoyed the experience, and this time around, a little closer to emulating his Canadian Grizzlies teammate, Aaron Johnson, with that one shot over the sight screen. 13 off 8 so far for him. San Ramon exactly halfway to the target here with 1 ball left in the power play. 67 on the board, 67 more required. Decent comeback ball there from Prasad as that one is going to roll and induce a throw. Well backed up. That was a bit of an issue yesterday for the Surf Riders. But it'll just be a single off that last delivery. 9 off the final one for Sabrish Prasad. San Ramon Grizzlies, though, courtesy of a 42 off 13 from Aaron Johnson, going at nearly 2 runs a ball through the power play. 68 for 3 as the fielding restrictions release. San Ramon Grizzlies in cruise control so far. They do lose the feared 3 wickets inside the power play, but that has not stopped their exuberance with bat in hand so far. And the Surf Riders are going to turn to Shehan Fernando, an off spin from both sides, to see if they can make some inroads here. Continuing to keep you updated on things going around in minor league cricket, Atlanta Lightning very much also in cruise control, protecting a total of 195 for 5 against Morrisville, as this one is punched to the offside, just far away enough from the fielder at point to allow a single to be run. They went 195 for 5 in their innings. They have got Morrisville 6 wickets down for just 57 runs, going at less than a run a ball. And so it looks like the Lightning will get the victory today. And what that means crucially for them is they don't have to worry about net run rate, which is good news, even though they're going to definitely help their own in just a moment with this victory. But the Atlanta Fire with a net run rate of 2.5 to the positive side this season. Gunasekara works that one to the vacant area at mid-wicket. And that almost looked for a moment like it was going to have enough time associated with it to run a second. Yeah, but the Lightning are at plus 0.2 going into play today. The Fire, after their loss, even after their resounding loss to the Baltimore Royals, still plus 2.5. That would have been pretty difficult to chase down. They will not have to. Boy, a lot of turn on offer for Fernando. That one comes up and has taken a bite, I think, out of Audience Sadu. Goodness gracious. Fernando's got that thing moving off the surface right now. Flattens it out a bit. Smidge less turn that way. Might be looking for something a little less extravagant. After all, he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He just wants to dismiss them. Not here to hurt arms or shoulders or anything. Only feelings. Fernando not used a ton this season with ball in hand. Did pick up a major wicket, though, in the win over Seattle. You see the way offies are often employed. Came on to get rid of the lefty Sujit Nayak. Gunasekara trying to flick this one back over his shoulder. Doesn't look like it's got quite enough juice to make it all the way to the boundary rope, so Abhi Singh will chase that down. A comfortable 2. Bowled 1 over on Saturday in the matchup with Silicon Valley. Gave up 13 runs. Just about everybody got a bowl yesterday for San Diego trying to figure out how to get rid of Shehan Jayasuriya. Skanda even brought himself on for the first time. That'll do it for the over. Just 5 runs from Shehan Fernando's first. San Ramon 73 for 3 through 7.
Real estate has been my life for the past 20 years.
Look, anyone can write a contract, but Alka guides you to the right decision.
Alka's enthusiasm and professionalism in the real estate field makes her tops.
Yeah, you know, we've known Alka for almost 20 years. We've done 8 transactions with her. Do we need to say anything more?
The double barrel off spin will continue until morale improves. Sabrish Prasad continues from the Usman Khan end. Gunasekara will be at the non-striker's end here, so not the ideal spot for the lefty when you bring on the offie. Still finding a lot of turn. The one other result worth reporting today in minor league cricket, as everything else has more or less been wrapped up. As this one's run to the offside, quickly 2 at Shahan Fernando. 2 dots to start for Sabrish. 9 off of his first over, most of that courtesy of a 6. Off the bat of Aryan Sidhu, currently on strike. Sabrish doing well to let that turn bring it in to the midsection of the batter. If you get your length right on that, it's hard to throw that pull shot and try to get it out in front, especially when Prasad's flattening it out a little bit and hurrying it on to the batter. I was about to say that the other result worth looking at, not because it affected the playoff race at all, they were already well and truly clinched, but the New Jersey Stallions today, as that one's run to Siddharth Menon at the boundary rope, single there, is that the Stallions, in the playoffs already, champions of the East, and how managed to protect 136 for 7 and win by 25 runs today over the New England Eagles, and in doing so have become the first ever perfect team in a regular season in minor league cricket history, 10-0. They are the second undefeated team, as the Chicago Kingsmen won all 7 games they got to play last year, but they were denied the opportunity to take full points by a no result. And up until this morning, there was thought that we might see a second undefeated team this season and a second perfect team in the Atlanta Fire, but they fall heavily to the Baltimore Royals and take their first loss. And that's why that south position is not yet wrapped up for them. Nice work by Ravindu Gunasekara to shoot that through a boundary on the offside. Thinking about a second, but no need to take risks at this point. Required run rate absolutely handled at this juncture, 4.85 from here to the finish line. So for those of you that just love your cricket and aren't attached to any particular team, we've got some exciting stuff coming up this week to decide those last 2 spots in the Super 8s. We'll tell you about that when we come back on the other side of a break. San Ramon 75 for 3 as San Diego try to close down the clamps a little bit.
From USA to India, experience journeys like never before. Book your tickets today with Fantastic Fare, your ticket to cricket and beyond. Book today and celebrate with Fantastic Fare.
.59 runs away from the target right now, with a whopping 12 overs left to get it. Again, an asking rate just under 5s for the Grizzlies as Gunasekara and Sidhu work their way into a partnership worth 18 runs so far. Rate of accrual has slowed substantially since the departure of Aaron Johnson, but that is generally what happens. Kunj Bhagat, change of ends. His first delivery with the lefty spin is going to be judged not a wide, and Ravindu Gunasekara is not happy with it. The signal from the umpire indicated you moved across your stumps, the line moves with you. Second delivery tapped right back to Kunj, a pair of dots to start. We'll take a look there at that wide delivery. Yeah, he's quite a ways across. Again, quite a ways across. This time accesses the long-on area. A bit of a misfield there. Ruvi was thinking about the second, but he and Sadhu can't get rolling again. And to be fair, if I were Ardian, I wouldn't have wanted to run that way either. It's a pretty short, long-on area once you're off that hill. Would have been the very definition of the danger end. So a single and Ardian Sadhu on strike. Run a ball 17 so far for him. We are guaranteed tomorrow one winner goes to the Super 8s game. Loser goes home. As this one is driven deep and way out of here. Over the top of the pavilion. Ardian Sadhu picking up Kunj Bhagat and depositing him to a very fine long on right in the direction of our camera. It's really the only question at that point was, would the electronics survive that assault? Just a little wide of our setup. Good comeback delivery from Bhagat as that gets tapped back. He has been victimized for maximums. That is the 5th one hit off of him so far today. Second one from Sadhu. That's a lovely diving snag from him, though, and just the 2 scoring shots on the over, a single and that straight drive 6 off the bat of Ardian Sadhu. He moves to 23, San Ramon to 82 for 3 through 9. Sabarish Prasad will bowl his 3rd over on the trot from the Usman Khan end. So far, with the lone exception of a 6 in the penultimate ball of his first over, has been uber economical. 11 off 12. See the ground staff getting ready to come out and repaint the lines as they do at every drinks break. Jump the gun just a little bit. We will have that drinks break either at the end of this over or if a wicket falls. San Diego obviously would prefer it is the latter. In need of something to break this up and get some of the lower order bats out here to the crease. First ball to Gunasekara. Tap to the onside for a single. Tomorrow, of course, the winner-take-all game for the last spot in the Central, the pre-scheduled qualifier. That's going to be between Kings 11 Dallas and the Metroplex Tracers after their win earlier today. Friday, Atlanta Fire and Atlanta Lightning meet. That is drilled. Ardian Sadhu taking a liking to whatever bowler steps up to take him on. First legitimate knock here in minor league cricket as he has just hit his 4th maximum. That might have been the biggest of the 4. Absolutely belted to cow corner. While they search for that, though, I'll tell you about what's left in minor league as this is this and the game over in Morrisville, the last one's taking place. Excuse me, the one at Pottamveers, rather. The last one's taking place this weekend. And in fact, it looks like Morrisville Raptors had an injured player that could not come out to bat, so at 62 for 9, they are declared all out. Atlanta Lightning win by 133 runs today. And it's kind of a shame that means that net run rate doesn't matter, because that might have done some neat things to theirs. Yeah, in fact, they managed to bump their net run rate by almost an entire run with that victory. Reminder, net run rate is your runs per over scoring rate minus your runs per over conceding rate. So the fact that they just took that gap and widened it by an entire run per over in one afternoon. Pretty impressive. But as we told you, it doesn't matter now. They are a game back of the Atlanta Fire with 2 games to play against them. So you can almost think of that one as a 2-game or a 3-game series where the Fire have already won game 1, Lightning win a pair, and they're going to the Super 8s. Fire get at least a split. They'll be the last team to make that trip. And the lucky thing for them is, since they won't know until Friday or Saturday, is that it's only a 6-hour bus ride. It's not a particularly long trip. They'll be able to make it regardless of which of the Atlanta teams is representing the ATL. Ball's been retrieved. A dot followed by a single after the Sadu 6. Ardian moves to 30. San Ramon now at 44 runs from the target. Required rate dipping in the direction of 4s now. Lots of good stuff, though, on the calendar. Monday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 games, where at least for the first 2, you know for a fact a team could clinch a playoff berth. And if it doesn't happen Friday, it will happen Saturday. Keep on tuning in here on the MLC Network, and of course, get ready for an absolute cricket overdose from Morrisville, North Carolina, starting on September 30th. Another ball tapped to the offside. 10 runs off of Sabrish Prasad's third over of work. He's gone for 21 from his 3. San Ramon Grizzlies 92 for 3 at the halfway point. Just 42 more runs needed to end their season at 5-5. We'll be right back after a drink.
United Tax, empowering your financial future. Expert financial planning, reliable taxation services, building wealth, minimizing tax, serving families and businesses nationwide. Contact us for further discussions.
A look here at the batting card, and so far a couple of big scores supported briefly by Rahul Jariwala and a little more concretely here by Ravindu Gunasekara, but the stars so far have been, they've been stars that are shaped like maple leaves. Aaron Johnson and Aryan Sadhu, the 2 Canadian internationals, putting on the show. Sadhu, 4 maximums amidst his 31 off 24. Aaron Johnson was hitting boundaries for fun, faced 13 balls, got 7 of them to the rope, 5 on the fly for one of the quickest 42s I've ever seen personally. And right now, the partnership between Sadhu and Gunasekara is going for 35 runs since Aaron Johnson was dismissed halfway through the 5th over. And they continue to mow down this total, just 42 now required. The resistance over on the San Diego side, 3 overs apiece from Zadran, Bhagat, and Prasad. Javed's done all the damage, but he's also taken some damage. An economy up near 10. The cost for his 2 wickets as he took out Kranti Kumar first ball and Aaron Johnson after that assault. Kunj Bhagat's been even more expensive. Hammered in his overs in the power play, but did take a wicket on the final delivery of his first over, removing Rahul Jariwala, caught out here in the deep near our commentary position by Abhinay Reddy-Vanepalli. Since we didn't get a chance to do it during the innings break, to begin with, a look at the batting and bowling cards from our first innings as well to remind you how we got here. That has now all been repaired, so we do see the correct scores for Kunj Bhagat and Abhinay Reddy-Vanepalli. AB, a little under a run a ball for his 21. Kunj, a 4 and a 6 en route to 22 off 18. Abhinder Singh, the one doing damage in the middle portion of that innings, and I do mean that both figuratively and literally. 29 off 20, including a bunch of 6s, especially one that actually broke a window of a house across the way from us here at Arroyo Park. Sorry about that. Vijay Ramnandula also at a run a ball in the 20s. They do get 4 scorers in the 20s, but nobody really breaks through for that big innings, and that does limit them to just a little over 6.5 runs a ball. 133 for 9, the end of that. And the team doing that limiting, Of course, the San Ramon Grizzlies, the men in red, fear the growl. 2 wickets apiece for Ayan Desai, Adnesh Tundale, and Harish Kakani. As we take a look at some of the victims of those wickets, Ayan Desai responsible in the power play for getting Siddharth Menon and Shahan Fernando, also responsible for a lovely catch to dismiss Abane Reddy. He goes at 5 runs and over. Adnesh Tundale does him a quarter of a run better at 4.75 in just his 3rd innings of the season. He takes his first 2 wickets of 2025, dismissing Snell Patel, as well as Sabrish Prasad with the assistance of Zia out in the long on region. Harish Kakani picked up his 50th wicket yesterday, 2 more for him in the one in the middle and 1 at the end. He was the one who was credited with the wicket on that lovely catch from Ayan Desai. Also clean bowled the captain, Skanda Rohit Sharma. 1 as well for Vedant Jain, who locked things down in the middle, and 1 for Vatsal Vagela as the spin twins got things done. So that's what's got us to this point here. As we said, the partnership at the moment, good for 35 runs off 33 deliveries since the dismissal of Aaron Johnson. At the time that Johnson went out, despite the 3 wickets down, the Grizzlies were going at nearly 2 runs a ball. That's been pulled back to 9.2. As we will see for the second time this weekend, Skanda Rohit Sharma bowling from the Sahadeo Pavilion end. It is interesting. We're seeing a ton of off-spin right here, which is usually the weapon to try to get rid of lefties, as that one loses the radar for a moment. And I can understand the desire to limit Ruby Gunasekera, but generally speaking, he's not a terribly big hitter. Gunasekera has struck at 100 or within a couple runs per 100 balls of 100 for his entire minor league career, and that goes for this season too. He doesn't seem to be the danger man at the moment. Of course, not much in the way of a scouting report available on Aryan Sidhu. Misfield in the deep. Menon not able to get the pickup clean. There was initially hesitation, but they will take the second. I'd be interested to know what the scouting report is on Sidhu, at least from the USA Under-19 internationals on this squad for San Diego. Supranj Kumar and Savrish Prasad both would have faced him. A ton of flight on that full toss, but it's popped up straight. And it just doesn't have enough gas to make it to the fielder, who is back on the rope. So it will fall safely, and Aryan Sidhu will continue his innings. For just a moment, looked like the entrance of the captain was going to get it done. As I mentioned in our first innings yesterday, I think 3 of the 4 innings in our 2 games featured a wicket in the 11th over, right after the drinks break. You see it all the time in Test cricket. See it a ton in ODIs when they take that break around the 16th or the 34th over. Thought we might get one just a moment ago here. Gunasekera rolls that off the bat, quickly back into Snell Patel with the gloves. Avi Singh sprinting in from third man. One of those rich dots that I talked about with Hari Venkatramani a couple weeks ago when we were on the call in Morgan Hill. And again, incredibly flighted ball from the off-spinner. That'll be a single. 1 more left in the over as he'll have to re-bowl the wide. Certainly as we approach the end here, 37 runs away from the target, 4 runs per over, all that's required to the finish for the San Ramon Grizzlies. We'll take a moment to thank those who have allowed us to put on this show for you here in this minor league season on the West. First, though, a quick break. 6 runs off the first Skanda Rohit Sharma over. San Ramon Grizzlies 98 for 3 through 11. 36 runs required from the last 9 overs. What a season it's been here in the West. Early on, looked like the San Ramon Grizzlies were going to make a real push. Seattle Thunderbolts with that late turn in the tail up at Tollgate Farms last weekend required Silicon Valley and East Bay to get something special done this week. It looked like that set of games was either going to seriously complicate things or mean that there was just no drama going into the 5 games this weekend. When in doubt, I prefer the one that gives me drama for as long as possible. It's going to be Vijaya Ramnandula bowling from the Usman Khan end. We've seen him just before or just after the drinks break pretty much every game this weekend. So far on the weekend, yet to take a wicket as a bowler, but does have one of the highlights of the week. 52 runs conceded off of his 6 overs, but responsible for the only wicket that fell against the East Bay Blazers when he kicked a screamer from Sujith Gowda onto the stumps to dismiss Kavin Bandara. Now one tapped back to him. A couple of dots to start here. 2 wickets on the season in his 10 overs of work. That one is slammed and going to get over on the fly. Another big 6 for Aryan Sidhu, who moves into the 40s and brings up the 100 for the San Ramon Grizzlies. Hold the pose. I feel like some of these shots of the ball in slow motion heading towards the embankment might just be like my moment of zen. Put some nice soft music over that. This one shot along the ground towards Siddharth Menon in the cover sweeper position out in the deep. He'll get to that and limit it to just a single. So many folks that have helped us put this show on here. I think of Anut and Stanley doing great camera work. Stanley learning the sport on the fly. It's the best thing you can say about anybody working in this field is every game he's better than the one before. If it weren't for his class schedule at UC Davis, might be making the trip to Morrisville alongside us. Of course, Hadi Venkatramani, my partner in commentary crime and scorecard symmetry seeking. Took care of one end of Northern California in that opening weekend when we had to divide and conquer. Can't forget Bala. Directed those games when we had the 2 crews and when Vishal was up in Seattle and we were working down here in Morgan Hill 2 weekends ago. And of course, Vishal himself, our fearless leader, the man at the controls, and the one that tells me, just decides what I need to see on this screen from time to time. Right now, what I see is 106 for 3, 28 runs from the total, 8 overs left to get it. .106 for 3. It's going to be Skanda Sharma continuing from the Sahadeo Pavilion end. Delighted to have had you along all season here in the West on the MLC network. Enjoying these Crick Live productions as Ravindu Gunasekara tries to run another one back towards third man, this time pounced on rapidly. That'll be a single out to long off, and with that, the 50 partnership brought up between Gunasekara and Aryan Sidhu. We'll take a look at that here together. 47 balls. They've just taken advantage of the platform put on by Aaron Johnson and the, at that time, rotating cast of partners. And by this point, just elementary to try and guide their way there. Skandarohit Sharma, the captain, looking to see if he can get some sort of twist in the tail. Nice delivery there. I do like the Sunil Narayan approach of hiding that ball back behind. Make it tough to find the release point. As is the case often for hitters in baseball, you're potentially having to just remember where it came out from the last time around and keep your eyes fixed there as Skanda works his way forward. Of course, if you then change up where you exactly arrive at the crease, left to right, you can make that a challenge as well. That one's sky high, might be a chance. Difficult one, backpedaling and making the catch is Shehan Fernando. Relocating all the way from a short mid-wicket out halfway to the rope. But that will end the day of the young Canadian prodigy Aryan Sidhu, 42 off his 36. So far, 42, the answer to the life, the universe, and everything, and also the answer to what is the high score for San Ramon. Scored now by 2 players. Aaron Johnson, 42 off 13. A little more circumspect for Sidhu. He gets it in 36 balls, but still certainly has his fun over the course of that innings. Applause coming from his dugout. 5 maximums. Responsible for 30 of the 42 runs he puts on the board. Just 27 more needed for victory here. Also, don't want it to get lost in the shuffle. First career wicket for Skandarohit Sharma. To be fair, it is worth noting this is only the second game in which he has ever bowled. The first one was yesterday. New man New man at the crease will be Harish Kakani. Partnership comes to an end on exactly 50 runs. Eventually, those 50 runs coming, in fact, from exactly 50 balls. Very high full toss, waiting on a potential signal from the square leg umpire. Nothing given for height as that ball was on its way down. Kakani pushes it into the outfield for a single. And that'll do it for the over. Skandarohit Sharma, best bowling figures right now on his team. 1 for 8 in his 2 overs. San Ramon Grizzlies, 108 for 4, 26 runs from the target.
From USA to India, experience journeys like never before. Book your tickets today with Fantastic Fare, your ticket to cricket and beyond. Book today and celebrate with Fantastic Fare.
No offense to the San Diego Surf Riders, but I am eager for the San Ramon Grizzlies to finish this up because we are beset upon by bees that are interested in our lunch from the innings break right now. Luckily, no allergy for me, but it's still not pleasant. Also, I want to eat that chicken later. Get away. I've been trying to use my pad to see if I can do one of the patented Shahan Jayasuriya pinball paddle sweeps. I just send a couple of them flying over the back of my head. No such luck. Dot delivery on the first as Sabrish Prasad returns to the Usman Khan end to bowl the last over of his spell. Kakani looking to let loose, and that one is over the top of the practice nets and may well be aquatic. There's a creek back there as he knocks 6 runs of the 26 right off that total left to get. Prasad, in this case, the original line of that ball might have caused some issues for Kakani, but it's a bit short, and the turn on offer brought it right into his arc. Kakani has had a very nice weekend with bat in hand. 21 off 21 yesterday with a 4 and a 6. 41 off 36 in the game against Silicon Valley with 2 4s and 2 6s. As the search continues for a ball to potentially abuse for another 20 runs, it is located. And will be tossed back in here. This Grizzlies team, with those close losses in the opening weekend, may well be left thinking what might have been. In particular, that last ball lost to the Silicon Valley Strikers. Take a look at some point on Crick Clubs at the table and imagine how different that looks if that last ball, or last 2 balls, go a little bit differently. Six and 4 on its own wouldn't have gotten you into the playoffs, but 6 and 4 with Silicon Valley dropped down to 6 and 4 might have. That's another one airborne and just over the top of the fielder at long on. Target now 14 runs away. Harish Kakani having a good time right now in what he hopes to make as brief a cameo as possible. 13 so far off 5. 12 sixes hit by the San Ramon Grizzlies in this innings. That's airborne and a lovely attempt at a scoop, but he doesn't get it. Now the batter well out of his crease. Scampers back, though. The drop out in the field, and everybody with hands on hips except for the one man with a face full of dirt, Kakani. A little bit of everything going on that one. Kakani reached out to try and cut a wide delivery, took that top edge. It was a chance for the man at third man, had 2 grasps at it, but couldn't hold on. Back to live action as the next delivery is hit to mid-wicket, and we see there the end of the replay after that single. End of that replay, the ball was brought into Snell Patel, who tried to throw it onto the stumps and did not hit the target. Looked like Kakani was probably in safely anyway. At any rate, San Ramon Grizzlies tack on another 13, and that's what they need to get home from here. 121 for 4. $14 overs gone, 13 runs left to get for the men in red to go to 5 and 5. With the Morrisville Atlanta Lightning game at an end, this the last game on this day. As we've told you, though, a further 3 games left, 2 that are regular season games and 1 qualifier, as Skanda again a lot of flight and a ball that's risking being a waist-high no ball. Full toss, though, will just go for a run. And I have nothing against the Dallas Exphoria Giants, but part of me is glad that it's going to be a different team facing Kings 11, because I was just worried for my buddy Brian Walters. I was starting to say at one point earlier before someone took a wicket and rudely interrupted me, but you could do worse than going back to watch the last 5 overs and the super over of that match if you just love pure, zany, high-stakes cricket action. This ball on the ground to the outfield for another single. But if you're not into cricket, and my question at the time was, what are you doing here? But if you're not, if you instead just have a fetish for watching a lovely, jovial human being slowly lose his mind over the course of 40 minutes, that would also be a video to go watch. Brian Walters, by the end of that, had to be wondering if he was hallucinating, and I'm honestly worried for his cardiovascular health if it was going to be Kings 11 and Dallas Exphoria Giants meeting for a third time. Instead, it will be Kings 11 and Metroplex. Exphoria Giants, one of 3 teams from last year's Super 8s that will not be making a return trip. The others, the Seattle Thunderbolts and Morrisville Raptors. But for the rest, a lot of repeats. A lot of excellence on display year in, year out. Blazers, Strikers, Stallions, Somerset Cavaliers, Kingsmen, Royals. That is dispatched with authority. Harish Kakani, third maximum for him. And he is hitting them for fun right now. With that, the Grizzlies potentially 1 stroke away from finishing this match off. 5 runs left to get. That rolled all the way across a playground of the school that is out there on the onside as it currently exists. Potentially 1 more big hit to get. 5 runs. This one's along the ground. There is a fielder out there. A.B. Reddy will get it in. Was a strong start for San Diego, taking a couple of early wickets, but the assault from Aaron Johnson very quickly made this a much more domesticated chase. And Rahul Jadiwala told us that he felt his team would be, in the game if they could hold San Diego in that 120, 130, 140 region. The way they're hitting today, looks like they might well have been able to chase down something in the 170s. Maybe even further than that. Ruvi rolls that one to mid-wicket, and that'll bring an end to the 15th over. Just 3 left to get here. When we come back on the other side of it, likely the end of the chase. San Ramon, 131 for 4.
United Tax, empowering your financial future. Expert financial planning, reliable taxation services, building wealth, minimizing tax, serving families and businesses nationwide. Contact us for further discussions.
Just 3 runs left to obtain here for the San Ramon Grizzlies. For them, it would be their 4th win at this home ground, 3 of them happening this season. Before that, they had won their 2nd match ever back in 2021, the back half of a doubleheader, and had not won again until Labor Day weekend. That win was against San Diego, and they sit now with Kunj Bhagat in the attack, 3 runs from repeating the trick. Gunasekara closes the hands, opens the face, picks up a run, now just 2 away. That'll bring Kakani on strike, and we'll see if he's content with just going for 2 or if he wants to park another one in the creek and end the match in style. San Diego changing the field a little bit here with the righty-lefty combination. Kakani leans into that one. He has found a gap that is going to roll its way to the boundary, and it's a 4 to finish off the proceedings. A 6-wicket victory for the San Ramon Grizzlies, and they get there with 28 balls to spare. This, the winning runs. Another ball that we saw that a couple of times where it looked like the initial line might have been a good one, but in some cases the amount of turn on offer from this pitch, a little too much, and allowing the ball to find its way into the arc for the batter. Harish Kakani finishes with a lovely 26 off 12, 3 maximums, and a 4. And we're going to take a look here in a moment at how the chase was won and how San Ramon got their 3rd victory of the season at Arroyo Park and 5th victory overall against 5 losses. Started here with Javed Zadran. He was victimized early by a couple of big shots, as was Kunj Bhagat, as the opening partnership went for a rapid-fire 21 in just 12 balls. But that would come to an end when Rahul Jariwala lifted this one in the air. Excuse me, that's not the one. Nope, that's the cut shot for 4. My mistake. Here it is. This is the off drive that picked out Abhinay Reddy-Vanapalli. Problem was the drive earlier, the 4, looked a lot like his wicket yesterday. Played a little trick on me. Javed Zadran would come in, stay on at that end, and he would have a long, flat shot from Kranti Kumar pick out Sabrish Prasad at mid-wicket and take one there in the 3rd over. Aaron Johnson would continue to pelt the fence, land balls in yards. These two I mentioned at the time. I was going to ask myself, Vishal, why are you showing me the same highlight twice? And the reason is he hit almost the same ball to almost the same place on consecutive deliveries. But he did do the classic boom, boom, gone when he came up against Zadran a little bit later. There's the boom. There's the other boom. That one off the tree. Got him to 42 runs off 12. Sorry, that's the other boom. That was the one that made me giggle. I remember that one now, the one-footed will I, won't I? And then Javed Zadran, after the pair of booms, knocking off the bails, hits the top of off and dismisses the big man AJ. At that point, 57 for 3, still with an over and a half in the power play. And how different things might have been if that had been given, as Ravindu Gunasekara survived an early attempt to dismiss him by Zadran and to pick up another wicket today. Instead, Aryan Sidhu would jump in to the encounter, and that one, tasty off-drive targeting our pitch camera. Generally speaking today, the San Ramon Grizzlies victimizing anybody who dared oppose them. 13 sixes, 5 each from Sidhu and Johnson. 3 off the bat of Kakani in the late going. 5 4s to go along with that. This one looked for all the world like it was going to be the end of Sidhu, and it was. Shahan Fernando needed a long run to get to it, but did eventually pouch it in over number 13. And then Kakani came in and picked up right where the Canadian had left off. Worth noting, 10 of those maximums, 60 of those runs coming from the 2 Canadian internationals. Kakani, though, there's another 6. And here's one more for good measure. That good for 18 of his 26 runs, and of the other 8, 4 of them would be off this shot to bring across the winning runs. And with that, the San Ramon Grizzlies finish off their season at 5-5. San Diego Surf Riders instead will finish up at 2-8. We'll take a brief look at the points table, and then one more look at the cards. And there is how things finish off. LA Lashings in 5th. They did manage to split their pair with the Surf Riders, with the Thunderbolts, and with the Grizzlies. Just could not get anything over the Blazers or the Strikers, and as a result, fall to 3-7. For the Surf Riders, their victories coming one against Seattle and one against LA. Thunderbolts finish off at 6-4, and we're really hoping that the Surf Riders could spring an upset yesterday. Might have had them in the game if they'd done so against the Strikers. East Bay Blazers, champions of the division for a third year running, and of course it will be the two Bay Area sides, the OG Bay Area sides, East Bay and Silicon Valley, headed to Morrisville. That alongside the Chicago Kingsmen, the two New Jersey sides, the Stallions and the Somerset Cavaliers, and the Baltimore Royals. Still to be determined which Atlanta side goes. The Fire and the Lightning meet on Friday and Saturday at Putnam Veers, and if that is swept by the Lightning, they go. Otherwise, it'll be the Fire. And of course, the qualifier in the Central coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. local time, 4 p.m. Pacific, between Kings 11 Dallas and the Metroplex Tracers, who earned their trip today. A look here at our summary slide, and we've kind of taken you through the majority of it. You saw it on the highlights. Johnson, Sadu, and Kakani, the big hitters, responsible for 13 sixes among them. Javed Zadran, the only one to strike more than once, as he was responsible for removing both Kranti Kumar and Aaron Johnson. Kranti right out of the gate. Johnson just a bit too late. So much damage already done by that point. Bhagat and Sharma each take wickets. Sharma, a nice spell. His first wicket in MILC as he goes at a run a ball. Bhagat, very expensive, going for a lot of sixes early, and that 4 off Kakani to finish off the proceedings. In the first innings, it was 2 wickets apiece from Tondale, Desai, and Kakani to keep the target within reach. Abhiyender Singh's destructive spell of 29 off 20, including a window claimed here from the neighbors across the way, not enough to set a target that could be defended today by the San Diego Surf Riders. That will do it for us here from Davis, both for today and for this minor league cricket season. One last time for Stanley on the camera work, for Dan and Ryan Sahadeo, who take such good care of this ground, love it like a child here, and give us a place where we can host these lovely events. And of course, for Vishal Tiku at the controls, as well for Anut and Bala, who have been part of our Crick Live productions here on the West Coast over the course of this season, and for Hari Venkatramani, who joined me on comms and who held down the games as well when I couldn't be there, or when there was just one of me but 2 games. For all of them, and most of all for Vishal Tiku at the controls of a Crick Live production, this is Joe Hickey, hoping that you will join us for the games later on this week, and of course for the Super 8s in Morrisville. If you do, I will see you there. Take care.